Criminal case. Lisa Brady, Fox News, and it could lead to a trial date. Special counsel Jack Smith and attorneys for the former president have to let the judge know how they plan to proceed in a federal election interference case.
Will Smith try to take this to trial before November 5th? It's possible, but that window is almost closed. The Supreme Court, the majority of the court on July 1st, ruled in Trump's favor, making it more difficult for the special counsel to bring in certain aspects of his original case. The justices ruled that presidents have broad immunity for official duties.
Fox's David Spunt. Smith submitted a more narrow case to a new grand jury and announced a new indictment this week, but the 4 charges remain the same, including conspiracy to defraud the United States and obstruct an official proceeding. Trump calls that case part of a witch hunt. He has a rally today in Pennsylvania and says he's looking forward to a September debate after hearing the Democratic nominee's explanation for flip-flopping on key issues during her first sit-down interview yesterday.
During the interview, Vice President Harris insisted she'd changed her position on fracking, that it doesn't need to be banned, back in 2020. After a follow-up question to that, Harris further clarified that she changed her mind from her position taken in 2019 after she says they were able to create clean energy jobs, as she put it, without banning fracking. Ohio Senator J.D. Vance told Fox and Friends after the interview.
She didn't totally know why she was saying the things that she was saying. She's been coached to pretend to be a moderate. Unfortunately, guys, she's governed as a San Francisco liberal, and because of it, Americans are poorer, the world is more chaotic, and our border is wide open.
Vance said she needs to be on the record explaining shifting positions on more than just fracking.
Fox's Jessica Rosenthal. Harris's overall defense is that her values haven't changed. Just getting reports in Egypt that a number of tourists were stabbed in a town along the Israeli border. No details yet from Egypt's state-affiliated TV channel. America is listening to Fox News.
Seems like there's more identity theft in the news every day.
Another major healthcare breach was reported today, resulting in the exposure. Now, 1 in 4 consumers have been a victim of identity.
That's because there are endless places that could accidentally expose you to identity theft, in a breach, or simply by mistake. LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points a second. If your identity is stolen, we'll fix it, guaranteed or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
Hey, checking in?
This is not just your flu shot appointment at Walgreens.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is getting your entire family vaccinated in one trip.
Hey, Mom?
And a snack on the way out. Get flu shots for everyone in your family, together. Schedule appointments online today. This is wellness made easy. Walgreens.
Vaccine subject to availability and for ages 3+. State and health-related restrictions may apply.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation. Weather.
Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
A couple of scattered showers and thunderstorms going through our Friday afternoon. It's still warm and humid, 92. A better shot of scattered showers and thunderstorms tonight. That's cool front coming in. Saturday, some leftover thunderstorms in the morning. Otherwise, partly sunny and cooler with a slow drop-off in humidity, 82. Sunday, sunny, 86. Monday, sunny, 79, 80. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
You want to retire soon, but everyone keeps telling you to wait until you're 65. After all, that's the age that you qualify for Medicare and you're close to full retirement age. I'm Marvin Mitchell, president of Compass Retirement Solutions. In my new book, Retire Early, the 9 critical decisions when retiring before 65, I discuss proper planning to help make early retirement possible. When to take Social Security, what to do with your 401k, health care, how to maximize retirement income, and much more. Get a complimentary copy of Retire Early by calling 1-800-743-8510. That's 1-800-743-8510. Can you retire early? Call 1-800-743-8510 for your copy of Retire Early, the 9 critical decisions when retiring before 65.
Investments and services offered through Compass Retirement Group, a registered investment advisory in Missouri and Illinois. Compass Retirement Solutions is not affiliated with the U.S. government or any governmental agency.
Hi, Chad Hansen with Hansen's Tree Service. If your trees are looking sick or if you have insects that aren't welcome in your landscape, Hansen's can help. Our plant healthcare program offers tree and shrub fertilization as well as pest management to maintain a great-looking landscape. Check us out at hansonstree.com.
Hey, it's Mark Reardon for New Perspective Senior Living in Weldon Spring. This brand new facility offers state-of-the-art independent or assisted living and memory care. New Perspective Weldon Spring is redefining senior living. Visit npseniorliving.com to schedule a tour today.
Always find what you love at Total Wine & More. With so many bottles to choose from at the lowest price, it's easy to find your favorite Cabernet or a new single-barrel bourbon to try. With the lowest prices for over 30 years, find what you love and love what you find at Total Wine & More. Spirits not sold in Virginia and North Carolina. Drink responsibly. B21.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
All right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Don't get me wrong. I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Fry Show.
Happy Friday. Welcome to the Annie Fry Show on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis's home for conservative talk. It's Friday, and Ryan Wiggins, we are 20 seconds away from starting the show, and Ryan goes, oh, crap, I don't have my headphones. And then he just left. We got Ethan in here, though. Hi.
Hello.
How are you doing?
I'm a little tired, but we're running on coffee, and that's how it's going to be probably the rest of the day.
Is it because you cleared your schedule and watched the Kamala Harris interview last night live?
No, it is not because of that. It is not.
We've got Ethan filling in for Brad today, and I get a message from Ethan last night. I think that message that you sent me was 10:30 or something? You sent me one message at 10:30.
Probably.
And it was a picture of the inside of a soccer stadium in Kansas.
Well, that's cool.
It was cool.
So you were just at a game, just watching a game in Kansas?
No,
Lindenwood actually played the University of Kansas, or Kansas University, last night, first football game of the season, and
Right.
I was on the broadcast crew for it. So took the trip over to Kansas City yesterday.
Last night. That's devotion, dude. Good
Yeah,
job.
it was a little bit of a grind. Got back at 3:30 or so.
a.m.
After calling the game.
Yes,
Dude,
sir.
that's awesome.
Yeah, so it was a lot of fun. They got annihilated, but they covered, and that's what truly mattered.
Lindenwood's not going there to win the game.
No.
I mean, in their hearts. But that's what all of these preseason games are always small operations trying to get some exposure. It's good for the big schools because you get to maybe work some things
Yep.
out and not have to really worry about it. It happens in every sport. And I just got this mess. I'm like, you're on our show tomorrow, right? And he's like, yeah. And then he sends me back this picture from Kansas.
Were you briefly panicking?
No.
Okay, I didn't know. Like,
No,
'cause
I
you were like,
trust
wait,
you.
you're coming, right? You're going to be back, right?
Any sort of panic or anxiety that I had was for you, not for the show.
Okay,
We'll be
gotcha.
fine, except for Wiggins, who today decided, oh, yeah, I need headphones for the show.
Yeah, I forgot my headphones. So it's a Friday. We're all just making do, and we're here. And you just spilled your soda all over yourself.
I'm not drinking a soda. I'm having a delicious super skinny latte from Scooters. B, didn't spill it all. I just moved it, and it made a little noise.
Theater of the mind.
No. I'm not klutzy, except for that one time I fell down the bleachers.
That was a great
That one
segment.
time.
Let's just replay that.
It was worthy of a story on the air because it happens so infrequently. So last night I had 2 volleyball practices, and the Kamala Harris interview is supposed to be happening. And I thought to myself, because I think I got done at volleyball at 8. So I was thinking maybe I'll pop it on the radio in the car and stream CNN in my car so that I can. And I was like, no, I think I have to see this. I think I need to have the full sit-down experience to watch it. And so I get home, and then it's dinner time, 8:30 at night, which is what you do in season. And I said to my husband looks at me every once in a while, he's like, what do you need to do? Because he knows that there's like a news thing happening, and he knows I'm going to need to cover it. And I said, here's the deal. I have to watch this interview. I'd like to watch it on the television, but what I don't want to do is be like yelling at the kids to quiet down. This is very similar to what we were talking about yesterday about parenting and being home and trying to pay attention to the people who are in front of you, whatever. And I told him, I was like, I don't want to go sit over there and be yelling at the kids so I can hear Kamala Harris. Like, that's inverted and upside down. And so then he's like, well, he was making dinner, and he's like, how about I make you dinner? And he's like, you can go upstairs, you can eat dinner upstairs, whatever. Well, I didn't want to eat upstairs. So I said, okay, I'm just going to go try to do this in the family room. Open concept home for the most part. So the family room and the kitchen are essentially one and the same. And I sat down, and lo and behold, I don't have it recorded. Because because YouTube TV, because it was titled something differently, because I have all of the PM shows on all the major networks DVR'd every night. So it wasn't recorded. So then I had to go find it and watch it on Twitter. And I don't know that sometimes I feel like watching that type of stuff after the effect. There's just enough of a tinge of everybody else's opinion that you might have seen while you were looking for the actual content. So with that grain of salt, I did watch the interview. And I'm trying to pull apart everything that I've heard other people say and just react on my own without other people's opinions in first. First and foremost, why the heck was she the furthest away from the camera?
Yeah, it was strange.
The setting was so demeaning is the word that's in my head, and I certainly don't think they intentionally did that on CNN to Kamala Harris. But you know, Brian, you've worked in television before, but for the folks who haven't seen it yet, Dana Bash is sitting on the right of the screen, and they're at a four-sided table. They looked like they were in a library. Maybe they were.
Yeah, it's just like a card table.
They're sitting at this table that is not big. Kamala Harris is on the far side of the table from the camera, and Tim Walz is in the foreground. He looks twice her size.
Yeah.
And I just thought, this woman wants to be the president of the United States, and she is the smallest focal point of the shot, and she is being dwarfed by Tim Walz and Dana Bash, who are more in the foreground, and then there was a table in front of half of her.
Yeah.
What? I'm really wondering, I don't know if this is something that's
There it is right there on TV.
Yeah.
She looks like half his size.
Her head, the top of her head is up to Tim Walz's nose.
Yeah.
Because, I think she's a petite person. But this was not glamorous the way that I really feel like they should have. Kamala Harris's people should have demanded a very aesthetically pleasing. Kamala Harris is nicer to look at than Donald Trump. Kamala Harris is nicer to look at than Tim Walz. She should have been put in, if anything, that the stills of this should have made her shine. Go ask Carrie Lake how she does it.
Yeah.
It's like Carrie Lake's best
Barbara Walters filter.
Whatever. So she looks teeny tiny, and there's a table there, and then the interview, just from the way that it was put together, was all cut up. And I'm thinking to myself, you had to edit the video. I think the total runtime was maybe around 28 minutes, like the total runtime of what was aired. Less than a 30-minute interview, had to be cut up so that they could put B-roll and intermittent stuff in between. And there's a table in front, and I'm wondering if she had notes in her lap. Is there any way for us to know if she had notes in her lap?
I don't think, as far as I understood it, she wasn't supposed to. But this isn't a debate, so there's not rules.
Isn't supposed to, according to whom?
Well, I just, the way it looked, it would look like she was cheating the audience if she had notes, because she would have hidden them.
In front of them.
Yeah, they would have been hidden if she had them.
Well, yeah, that's why you put the table. That's the point, Ryan, that they would put a setting up there where she would be in a place where she could have references available to her for an edited 30-minute video. I don't know if she did, but I just don't I'm trying to think, why in the world would you agree to that shot? Because it was very, very poorly done for Kamala Harris visually.
Yeah, little sort of my television analysis of why they did what they did is it seems as if they picked a place that wasn't quite big enough for the crew that they were going to have, which is on them. Not saying that was a good move. But
she had 40 days to figure out how to do this right. That's a stupid...
Because there was plenty of room behind Tim Walz, but behind Kamala Harris, you had the wall. Usually you have some space there because it looks better if you do. So I think what they tried to do was they tried to make her the focal point, like you were saying, by putting her in the center. But they like, if you've noticed, Kamala Harris does very poorly when she does sit-down interviews chair to chair. Everyone she's ever done, she's really botched.
I know, but I don't think that's because of the chairs.
But she likes panels. So I think they tried to make, that's why they added Tim Walz. She really likes to try to do conversational settings. And this was her way of kind of doing that without doing an actual panel.
I don't know about that. I do know watching it that it was a long time before Tim Walz was a factor in the conversation, which made it even more bizarre that he was sitting there. And I have a theory on that. We're going to take phone calls on this. I'm going to move the phone calls to the 1 o'clock segment, 1:05. I will remind you this after we do the Be or Not the Be at 12:45 with Ryan. I want to know what your thoughts are on this interview, and I want you to react to some of the things that we took out of this, because I want to go through some of the sound and get to what we all individually think about this. But I know that a lot of people are talking about Tim Walz being there as somebody who could support Kamala through, because Kamala Harris doesn't do well in these moments. But I actually kind of have a different theory about it after watching this interview play out as to why Tim Walz was actually
You said
there.
that you carried weapons in war, but you have never deployed actually in a war zone. A campaign official said that you misspoke. Did you?
Well, first of all, I'm incredibly proud. I've done 24 years of wearing the uniform of this country. Equally proud of my service in a public school classroom, whether it's Congress or the governor.
So Dana's question is, did you lie about your service? His response is, I'm proud of my service, and I was a school teacher.
My record speaks for itself.
My record speaks for itself. That's not true, though, because you lied about your record.
Yeah.
Like that inherently, this is the question that if Tim Walz is going to find himself in front of a reporter, you got to have an answer that addresses the question, because you can't always avoid it, or a good opponent with some good political sense will answer the question for you in your absence of acknowledging what is there. Tim Walz saying that his record speaks for itself makes me angry, because when he goes out there and repeatedly, this is not a one-time thing, he repeatedly misleads the people who he's speaking to, in many cases, face-to-face, about what his record actually is. And it always, always, always goes to the favor of Tim Walz doing something that is, in his mind, I would only assume, because he's so consistent about misleading people about what the truth is, that he thinks that there's more valor involved in his lie than in the truth. That's why he repeats it. That's why he's actually pretty consistent about what he deceives people in. And then his response to Dana Bash is, my record speaks for itself. Then let the record speak for itself and stop deceiving people. I don't understand why he's coming into this interview right now with that type of answer when he should absolutely be more prepared for a better answer. And he's not.
Proud of my service in a public school classroom, whether it's Congress or the governor. My record speaks for itself, but I think people are coming to get to know me. I speak like they do. I speak candidly. I wear my emotions on my sleeves, and I speak especially passionately about our children being shot in schools and around guns. So I think people know me. They know who I am. They know where my heart is. And again, my record has been out there for over 40 years to speak for itself.
Yeah, but you lied about it. And I'm sorry, Governor Walz, why did you say something that was not true, which is what we call lying? Why did you say something that was not true about weapons of war, weapons that you carried in war? Why would you allude to people that you have this sense of knowledge and about an experience about the situations that would manifest the need to carry one of those weapons, and then completely abdicate your responsibility of answering to the deception that you put out there, and then start talking about, oh yes, school shootings? The context of him saying weapons of war that he carried was the context of that was in a school shooting conversation. So that's why those two things are together. Politically, maybe smart to try to shift to the point of why he was talking about those. But the question that Dana asks, and a very important one, is why did you deceive people about this? And when he says, I speak like they do, I'm starting to get a little bit miffed as about this Midwestern caricature of a white guy that they're trying to make Governor Tim Walz. He's out there supposed to represent you. Many of you listening right now are men. Most of you listening right now are Midwestern men, and he speaks like you do? Deceitfully? Come again? His over-exaggeration into just straight-out lying is supposed to be relatable to people like you, Ryan, because, you're a Midwestern white dude. You know how we talk. We speak like each other. Tim Walz, he's just like you.
I don't care which party says that. I don't care who you are. When you come to me and you go, I'm like you, I go, then you don't need to say that. Like, why would you? I'm rolling up my sleeves and wearing flannel. You do that sometimes, don't you? We're the same.
People who are trying to mimic folks like us usually go a little overboard in their effort.
Yes.
And you can tell very quickly. Here's more of his response to this.
We were
question.
talking about, in this case, this was after a school shooting, the ideas of carrying these weapons of war. And my wife, the English teacher, told me my grammar's not always correct. But again, if it's not this, it's an attack on my children for showing love for me, or it's an attack on my dog. I'm not going to do that. And the one thing I'll never do is
Are you telling me, just for a hot freaking second here, that you saying that you carried these weapons when you were in war? It never happened. You left. You quit the National Guard as soon as you found out that they were going to deploy. Now, you served for 24 years. And if, Governor Walz, your record spoke for itself, that should be enough. Because every American across this country, should you have served those 24 years and been honest about that service, we would all be perpetually, infinitely grateful that you answered that call for that long. That service is commendable. That service is admirable. My question is, why are you the only one that didn't think it was that it was commendable enough, that it was admirable enough? Why did you feel the need to embellish it once you started running for office, just to put the little cherry on the top to make sure that it was quite enough? That's pretty offensive. So then he comes out here and then he says that his wife is correcting him all the time for using bad grammar right after he said, I speak like they do. What an ass. That's infuriating to me. The pandering nature of this, like they're trying to turn this into an instance where this is a plus for him. Like, once you understand that Tim Walz, especially if you're one of those people outside of the Midwest that is peeking around the corner like all these Midwesterners are in some sort of zoo exhibit where you can go watch them in their natural habitat with their poor grammar and their not so great fashion and their dogs that change and transform into different kinds of like, I'm supposed to sit here and go, he's one of us. And then you compare him to the other white guy in the race, Tim Walz. Well, there's two other white guys in the race. You compare Tim Walz to Donald Trump, and you're like, I can't relate to him at all. Guess what? I only want to be like one of them. I do not aspire to live the Tim Walz life. It would be sweet to live Donald Trump's life for just a hot second.
Yeah. And to assume, the other thing that's funny is he's sitting there with the supposed to be next president, Kamala Harris. And so whenever he's saying, I'm so relatable, I'm so like everybody, he's also saying, we acknowledge that she's not. Like, why are you there? You can't just have all these things at the same time. But that's across all of it. They're trying to say one thing in 1 year, another thing in another year. It's just double speak constantly.
Yes.
This is an attack on my children for showing love for me, or it's an attack on my dog. I'm not going to do that. And the one thing I'll never do is I'll never demean another member's service in any way. I never have, and I never will.
That's false, though, because in your own deceit of your own service, you demeaned your own. The fact that you came out and had to embellish and lie about what you did repeatedly, you demeaned your own service and anybody else who has done what you have done that didn't go overseas. Especially think about the people who served along with you and then did go to Iraq. Seems to me like you got that one wrong, but it was actually about yourself. Oh, and the other thing, when people are talking about your embellished service record that doesn't speak for itself because you're the one who keeps trying to change the record based on what it is on paper versus what you've tried to sell people for votes. When you talk about that lie. And, get out of here with your misinformation and lie. It's a lie. When you decide to try to sell people something that isn't true to persuade them to support you more, that's a lie. It's deceitful, and we're calling it out. That is not in the same boat as the idiots that were out there criticizing your son when he was hyper emotional at the DNC. And I was the first person to go on Twitter and call out everybody on both sides of the aisle who were making comments about their son, because it did not take much of an effort online to find out that his son is neurodivergent, I think, and ADHD and a few other things. Like, it's pretty easy to find that out. Those are two completely separate situations here. And when you try to lump them all together, you're trying to push away the idea that, yeah, you lied about your service and people are not so happy about it. All right, the YouTube live chat poll for today is a tough one.
Yeah, I can't decide.
But it is a Friday one.
It's a good Friday one.
Who would you rather ride a roller coaster with? Donald Trump or Kamala Harris? Annie Fry YouTube channel, come vote. And we really need to know why you voted the way you did. And we also want people to leave us voice messages.
Yep, so if you're listening on the app, on the Odyssey app to 97.1, you will see the microphone button. It's as easy as hitting that button, recording whatever you want to say, and then hitting it again, and we'll get it.
And we'll pick some to maybe air if we get some good ones. Go to the Odyssey app and listen to us there. We'll be right back.
This is the Annie Fry Show. Follow Annie on Twitter at Annie Fry Show.
Stewart's American Mortgage is the home of the bagel loan, and everyone's paying attention to rates right now and waiting to see if now's the right time. Should I wait a little bit longer? Here's what you need to do. You need to wait no more minutes to get a hold of Stewie at Stewart's American Mortgage. 314-324-4440. That's 314-324-4440. When you talk to Stewie about your mortgage, he's going to position you in the best possible way to, A, if you're looking to buy a home, get the home of your dreams by being the most attractive buyer and offer that is out there on the home that you're trying to look for. I was just talking to someone the other day who was saying they made an offer on the home, offered way over asking price, still didn't get the house. And you need to be in a position to be the offer that the seller goes, that's the one. I want to be with them. How about a less than 2-week close? How about the fact that with the bagel loan, you pay no closing costs, keeping thousands of dollars in your pocket that you can put towards the offer of the home or maybe to put towards the improvement of a home? Just reach out to Stewie directly and ask him about the bagel loan for you. 314-324-4440. Google the bagel loan, NMLS number 226715.
You've been listening to the very popular Wellness One for many years, Saturdays and Sundays on 97.1 FM Talk. We're happy to share that we've expanded the show to 4 times a week. Yes, 4 times every weekend. Saturday at 10 a.m., Saturday at 8 p.m., Sunday at 9 a.m., and Sunday at 2 p.m. It's the same great show designed to cut through the nonsense and provide you a common sense, science-based strategy for a healthy life. So join TJ and Aaron for Wellness One. Now 4 times a week on 97.1 FM Talk.
Hello, my name is Chad Clayman with Clayman Group, where you can find us online at claymangroup.com, KLAMEN group.com. Do you have a house that you'd like to sell as is and not deal with the market? Maybe you have a tenant not paying the rent or a house in disrepair and you want a simple solution for your sale? We've been in business for over 88 years and we've helped thousands of people sell their house in as-is condition with no middleman involved. Reach out today at claymangroup.com, KLAMEN group.com, and receive an offer today.
It's time to get your body in shape for the warm weather, and Victory Men's Health can help. Mark Cox here for my friends at Victory. They've got semaglutide for ladies and men, and all you need to do is go to victorymenshealth.com to find out more. They've got 4 convenient locations now: Sunset Hills, Wing Haven, Town and Country, and O'Fallon, Illinois. A simple blood test, and you could be on the path to losing up to 15% of your body weight. Tell them Mark Cox sent you. Go to victorymenshealth.com.
Hi, I'm Bob Kershaw with Retirement Advisory Group. Are you worried about market volatility in this election year? Are you concerned your money won't last you through retirement?
Hi, I'm Tammy Kershaw, and as a family-owned business, we are committed to protecting your retirement, whether you're nearing retirement or already retired. We have a lot of folks that aren't aware of all the new investment choices that are available, which give you growth and protection from losses at the same time. Are you aware of all the fees that you are currently paying? We can show you how to avoid those fees. So come in now for your free retirement review and get a second opinion on your retirement plan. And just for coming in, you'll get a copy of our latest edition book, Your Key to a Worry-Free Retirement. Let us show you how to retire with confidence.
We are proud to say we haven't lost a penny of our clients' money in 38 years, and we won't lose a penny of yours either. Let our family help your family. Call us now at 314-993-9494 or go online to retirementkey.com. That's retirementkey.com.
Hey, St. Louis, are you in search of top-notch cybersecurity solutions? Look no further. ThrottleNet is here to help. Ransomware attacks are on the rise, putting businesses like yours at risk. Don't let cyber criminals jeopardize your hard-earned success. ThrottleNet provides comprehensive cybersecurity services tailored specifically to your unique needs. Our award-winning customer service provides 24/7 protection to keep your data safe and secure. Take charge of your digital security today. Protect your business, protect your future. ThrottleNet.com, your reliable partner in cybersecurity.
You're listening to the Annie Fry Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation Studio. Air Comfort Service is hiring licensed journeymen. Don't have a journeyman license? Air Comfort Service will help you get it. Get guaranteed hours year-round and more. Apply online at aircomfortservice.com.
Join us for Midwest WINGFEST in Fairview Heights this weekend. Wings, drinks, and music, all to benefit combat wounded soldiers. A huge variety of food and music. It's all in Fairview Heights. Info at MidwestWingFest.com.
Can't write one song that's not about you. Can't drink without thinking about you. Is it too late to tell you that?
You're listening to the Annie Fry Show.
I can't have you. I'm in Toronto and I got this view, but I might as well be in a hotel room. Yeah, it doesn't matter 'cause I'm so consumed, spending all my nights reading texts from you. Oh, I'm good at keeping my distance. I know that you're the feeling I'm missing. You know that I hate to admit it, but everything means nothing if I can't have you. I can't write one song that's not about you. Can't drink without thinking about you. Is it too
Welcome back to the Annie Fry Show. Thanks for being with us this afternoon. We have been going over a lot of the Tim Walz portion of the Harris interview yesterday. Everybody's talking about the Harris stuff. I don't know if Tim Walz has gotten as much attention as, I figure by this time at 12:30 the next day, boy, how cool is it if you're waiting for 12:30 for us to introduce you to what happened yesterday? But I assume most people have an idea of what took place during that Kamala Harris interview. I really believe, based on just watching last night, Tim Walz has a lot of liabilities that he's created for this ticket. I don't really know anything that he brings to the ticket.
I think they're trying to make it that he's the Midwest guy. That's the thing.
I think he's the leftist version of a DEI hire.
Wow. I think you're right.
He's not the best at the job, but he's the best white guy we could find that would do what we want him to do.
And that would accept the position, apparently.
Yeah.
Because he's just sort of a canvas. Hey, what do you want me to be? Yeah, I'm that thing too. But that's the whole campaign.
But the idea that he's this Midwestern white guy, everything that they've presented to us about Tim Walz is about the shell of the man.
Yeah.
And everything that we've gotten that is substantive about him kind of sucks.
Yeah, it does. His record in Minnesota is not terribly popular. Minnesota is a blue state. And every year that he has run for re-election, he has gotten less and less of the vote share, to the point that they almost are ready to pick that seat off, but it's still a blue state. So he's still getting 51, 52% of the vote when he runs for governor. But yeah, his policy positions, the tampon thing, giving tampons to boys.
How many people are going, well, he's got my vote now. I've been waiting for this for all of time.
Just any Democrat, picture yourself in 2000 or 1980 or whenever, And picture yourself going, you know what, in a few years, I'm really looking forward to voting somebody who's trying to give tampons to boys. That seems like a really good policy position.
I think I always want to correct people, I don't know if correct is the right word, but what they're not trying to give you a tampon, Ryan, because you think you're a girl. It's not about that. It's about women who've transitioned to being men, but still have periods, which is kind of like how you know. But anyway, I mean, the point is that there are women who have transitioned into being men in this culture, and they want to use the men's bathroom, but they also do have periods.
Yeah.
That's how you know they're women.
And also let's put tampon machines in all of these bathrooms to serve this tiny little subset of people at the taxpayer expense, and to showcase to impressionable young men, gender is fluid, which is really the point of it.
I really believe that Tim Walz was at this Harris interview to help Tim Walz. Everybody was thinking that, I referred to Tim Walz as Kamala Harris's support dog, and that he was there to help her get through the interview, but he didn't say hardly anything for the majority of this interview. Then they finally go to him, and all of the things. I mean, in politics, you should want the hard questions so that you can get on the record with your response to it, so you can define the situation. And I think that Tim Walz is more of a liability to this ticket than he is a benefit. And I don't see any, there's no lift that Tim Walz gets you unless you think specifically that Minnesota was going to be a problem. We talk about Virginia as boy, there's all these swing states that we know, the 6 or so swing states that are going to decide the election. But if Governor Youngkin in Virginia cleans the voter rolls so much that now Virginia is in the actual conversation for Donald Trump to win, it changes everything. So the Democrats should think we got to lock down Virginia. The same thing is true with Minnesota. If Minnesota comes into the conversation, then Minnesota should go blue.
Yes, it should.
But if Minnesota all of a sudden becomes part of the conversation because of uncommitted voters, because of Democrats who aren't going to support somebody who supports Israel out of Minnesota, then that changes the entire game. So I'm thinking that Governor Walz, is the DE hire of the left. Their whole administration is diversity focused, which is just their way of saying non-white man. But they needed to have one. So they went out and got the most palatable one for them. And I think it was to short Minnesota to make sure that, okay, we don't have to worry about that. We don't have to spend money there. Why would you waste time doing that? Because the Minnesota question is an unanswerable question. You cannot, in the Democrat Party, Kamala Harris cannot, in the Democrat Party, as the leader of the Democrat Party, as their nominee, cannot satisfy Minnesota and the rest of the party. There's no answer there. So let's take Governor Walz. We'll make sure that the people who supported him in the governor campaign will come support us, and we'll win Minnesota. We don't, A, have to actually address the problem. We can keep speaking out of both sides of our mouths. And B, we'll make sure that Minnesota stays where it belongs, in the blue column. I think that Tim Walz was there with Kamala Harris to run cover for Tim Walz. And I don't think we're going to see much more of him. I think that's going to be it.
Interesting. I think you're making a good political point about Minnesota. You're making an interesting psychological point about the Democrat Party, because they really do seem to think that the outer characteristics of a person are the most important things about them.
That's your value.
Because it's not just DEI. It's about, we think now, and this is what's interesting about Tim Walz and the point that you're kind of getting at here. If we chose him because he's the white guy who looks a lot like Midwestern guys, then why wouldn't Midwestern guys vote for him? That's the most important thing, isn't it? Is the way that he looks. So you should identify with him according to our values. And when they don't, or when you vote for, like when South Carolina votes for Tim Scott, it's going to blow their minds, because it doesn't make sense that you could vote for somebody who doesn't look just like you.
It's very dangerous to the status quo. And the Democrats compete very well in the current climate of politics. And if you start shaking that stuff up, if you start seeing the black vote shift in the direction of Donald Trump, he doesn't have to win the black vote. If Donald Trump gets 20% of the black vote, that's going to be show-stopping.
Yeah.
And Democrats are counting, what was it before, like 7 or 8% or something like that?
Yeah, I think it peaked out at maybe 11 ever in the last 40 years.
So if you get to the point where you have 20% of the black vote going one direction, two things are going to happen. The Democrats are going to have to assess why that might be the case, which would be shocking to many of them, that because black people think individually just like all the other skin color people think individually.
Shocking.
Yes, but they can't admit that because literally the guy who's the president of the United States right now simplified it for us all to understand completely what they mean. If you don't vote for me, you ain't black. Quote, Joe Biden. Unbelievable thing to say. Imagine if Donald Trump said that. If you don't vote for me, you ain't black. There are more clips here from Kamala Harris, and I want to get to some more of these in the 1 o'clock hour, and we'll take your phone calls on this as well. But we really would like to know what you think about the interview last night. I don't think that it was a disaster for Kamala Harris, but I feel like she reinforced that she is the Kamala Harris that we know.
That's exactly right.
It's like more of the same, and I think that what she needed was to make people see her have this conversation and go, well, it was pretty refreshing. Like, I know a lot more about Kamala Harris and what she would do if she became the president of the United States right now. She talked out of both sides of her mouth. We'll get to some of those clips in the 1 o'clock hour. And she used 10 times as many words as she needed to make the point. So I don't think it was kind of a draw, I would say. At the end of the day, it wasn't I don't think it moved the ball for, everyone keeps saying that analogy. I don't like that. I don't like saying what everybody else says. Move the ball down the field.
Move the puck down the ice.
Yes.
Much better, huh?
No, because the puck goes all over the place all the time. Kind of like Kamala Harris.
Hey,
Nice.
Good job. Very good.
Yeah, moving the ball down the field is a much more thoughtful, definitive motion, whereas,
Moved the shuttlecock to the opposite side of the...
It's time to go to break.
Okay.
Ethan, play that music before Ryan starts speaking. Again, YouTube live chat poll. Who would you rather ride a roller coaster with, Trump or Harris? I put a really weird emphasis on the word roller coaster. Happy Friday.
Whoa! Roller coaster!
We need somebody to go to the Odyssey app and give us what it would be like. I want like a walkthrough, just a quick, brief walkthrough of what it would be like to ride a roller coaster with Donald Trump.
Mm-hmm. Leave a voice message
and
about
Kamala Harris, yeah. If it's good, we might play it on the air. Go to the Odyssey app and find 97.1 FM Talk. Little microphone there. Click that microphone. Record it. It'll come right to us. Might air it right here on the Andy Fry Show. Be or not the be?
That's next.
All right, don't go away.
This is the Annie Fry Show. Find the podcast, on-demand audio, and more at 971talk.com/Annie.
Don't miss the historic Bronze Boots Soccer Clash, Sunday, September 8th at City Park. Catch SLU and SIUE men's and women's teams as they face off in this NCAA Division I soccer doubleheader. Get your tickets now at SeatGeek.com.
What's wrong with Rick? He's kind of spacey.
That's Rick's identical twin, Scott. He's not used to answering to Rick.
What's going on?
Rick asked me to keep it secret, but he asked his twin to cover his shift so he could go to Diamonds Direct to shop.
But this is a jewelry store.
Exactly. But the prices and selection are so much better at Diamonds Direct. Rick doesn't want the boss to get suspicious, so Scott's here in case the boss sees Rick at Diamonds Direct.
But that would mean that the boss is at Diamonds Direct too.
Yeah, we have a lot of secrets.
You never know who you'll run into at Diamonds Direct. With unbeatable direct importer prices, the highest quality diamonds, the most sought-after designer rings, the best customer service, the strongest guarantees in the industry, it's just a no-brainer.
You think if Scott had a mustache, he'd look like me?
Go where everyone goes. Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion. Learn more at diamondsdirect.com.
Del Walmsley and the Wealth Cycle.
This is the wealth cycle that I've taught for 30 years. Buy one house, 10 houses, an apartment, 2 apartments, 8, 20, 500 units, 1,000 units, 2,000, 5,000 units. And as you keep putting the money and the profits back in, you become one of those rich people. And much quicker than you'd even believe.
Learn Del's Wealth Cycle at GiveMeTotalFreedom.com. Use promo code 2024. Save 60%. Code 2024. GiveMeTotalFreedom.com. GiveMeTotalFreedom.com.
I was having a lot of sinus infections. My sinuses were clogged, pressure, headaches.
Linda suffered for years with chronic sinus infections.
You don't feel like doing anything. When you feel like your head is completely clogged, all you want to do is just lay down and sleep. And the pressure, it's just not fun, always walking around with a headache.
Now, her issues are gone. How? A minimally invasive procedure done in the office of St. Louis Sinus Centers called balloon sinuplasty.
I really did not know what it was like to feel like you're really breathing and not being so clogged up. I would do it again in a heartbeat, and I would definitely recommend it for someone else.
Do you suffer with chronic sinus infections, facial pain, pressure, congestion? Find out if balloon sinuplasty is the solution for you. Set an appointment today with St. Louis Sinus Centers. Call 314-332-2885. 314-332-2885. That's 314-332-2885.
Today's Annie Fry Show YouTube live chat poll is, who would you like to ride a roller coaster with, Trump or Harris? Which one do you think would be more fun? Well, really, it doesn't even say fun. Just which one would you like to ride a roller coaster with more? There's also a little bit of a chat question breaking out about which one of us on the show you would like to ride a roller coaster with the most. Really, it's up to you how you answer this question. Just let us know. 1245. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
You've got thoughts. Did you know you also have a microphone? Listen to 97.1 on the Odyssey app and click the microphone to leave a voice message. Whatever's on your mind, let us know by clicking the microphone in the Odyssey app.
Well, the music's gone.
Where's the Wiggins America? Do you have it? I can just play this. We're going to play.
Memento.
Brad's out today, if you haven't noticed.
No, that's all right.
See, you want to know what the issue was here?
Yeah, I do.
So I heard it in my ears because I had it in Q,
Oh.
but I had it potted down.
He did just look up at us.
So I was literally like,
why aren't you
"Hey,
guys talking?
Take two?
Let's do this one more time.
Wiggins!
The bee or not the bee?
And that ended up being flawless.
I was going to say, the execution second time was perfect. Because that's a lot of pieces to play and make them all hit at the same time.
The
And
funny thing is, it went
guys
silent.
really
I
did
was
it.
so happy. I was like, okay, good. We sound good. I was like, oh, wait, it wasn't on here.
It's
Right.
silent in here, and we're all just looking at each other like,
Where's the music? I'm like,
who's going to say
Well, the darkness was playing there. That was kind of fun. All right, this is the bee or not the bee. These are a bunch of headlines, some of them real, some of them satire from the Babylon Bee. You got to tell me which is which. First one. What do you think my policies might be? Kamala Harris asked CNN's Dana Bash during interview. Let me do the emphasis a little bit different here. What do you think my policies might be? Kamala Harris asks.
What? B.
It's pretty obvious that this is the B, Ethan. Okay, you can agree. It says, teaser footage from the interview indicated that Kamala's 4D chess move
4D chess.
came
Everybody
shortly
loves the 4D chess.
after Bash peppered her with the hard-hitting, obviously hostile question, what are some of the core policies you'd like to enact as president? Quote, well, you see, Dana, that's a question you asked me right there,
I
Kamala
wish we could
answered
collectively
cunningly.
just agree to call her Dana.
I do too.
I don't think you can do that with people's names, but
I guess you can just be like, no, my name is Rianne. You have to call me that now.
I think you can do that these days.
I think you can. Kamala answered cunningly, winding up for a shrewd turnaround. What do you think my policies might be? Bash reportedly shuddered a little and hesitated, causing Kamala to follow up. her with another absolute banger of a line. Let me answer your question this way, Kamala continued. Why don't you guess what my policies are, and I'll tell you if you got it right.
Yeah, exactly.
Brilliant.
Exactly.
Absolutely brilliant.
Okay, that's the B. Tell me if this one's the B. 5 guys down to just 2 guys after California minimum wage increase.
Yeah, I saw this one.
Did you?
Yeah, I almost sent it to you, but then I was afraid you wouldn't. Then
I wouldn't use it?
Yeah.
I thought this sounded like it could have been a humorous headline to a real story, so that's why I chose it. But yeah, it is the B. We had to let go of Chad, Ben, and Tyler. Now it's just me and Matt, said Jim Morrell, one of the original 5 guys, which sucks because Matt is really annoying.
I wish his name was something other than Matt.
Why? Do you love Matts?
No, I just wish it would. I mean, Brad and Ryan are pretty common names. Could have been a Brad or a Ryan.
You really had to pause there and figure out what words you wanted to use.
I know. What are you going to say?
Went with common.
I was going to say average, but I didn't want it to sound mean, so I changed it. Because I didn't mean average in the sense as in inadequate. But now that we're here, I'll explain myself. I actually paused because I wanted to say something that was nicer. And now I regret that decision.
No, you did a good job because I walked away feeling like a pretty tall dude.
Average.
Now I'm back to 5'9".
But you are the most average person I know.
Thank you.
Top notch, middle of the road.
You know, I probably embrace that.
You
On my
know.
good days, I'd be like, yeah, you're darn right I am.
Super average.
All right, Democrats hold Hotties for Harris party complete with Plan B abortion pills.
I think that's real. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm rolling with it.
This is real.
Dang it.
And it was during the DNC. Democrats held a Hotties for Harris after party a few evenings ago featuring pregnancy tests and UTI medication.
Whoa.
Wait, there's more.
Whoa.
There was an abortion access skee ball game. I kid you, this is real. Abortion pills in gumball machines. Also featured was a prize wheel with blindfolds. I hate to use these words, but this is what was on it. Lube and condoms that said F Project 2025 on them as prizes.
Is there any, I mean, I know where the 3 of us stand, but how can anyone argue that this isn't just celebratory evil?
Yeah.
I mean, there are literal Bible stories of stuff like this taking place right before God's like, send some fire.
Right. Yeah.
Send some water.
This at the bottom of this, it says it took place in Gomorrah. I made that part up. Sorry.
That would have been the B.
That would have been, that's the B
been,
part, but the rest of that's all real. There is a little bit more. It says the Hotties for Harris wall included pictures of, so this is the Hotties portion, Nancy Pelosi, Travis Kelce, and Tim Walz, while the wall of weirdos included pictures of Marco Rubio, Sarah Huckabee Sanders, and Tim Scott.
Oh, I'd vote for all of them for anything if it could be representing me. Do you, listen, if you want to use the title of your party to be Hotties for Harris, does it matter if they're not really hotties?
Well, that's why I wanted to read that last paragraph with Nancy Pelosi on the Hotties wall and Tim Walz. Travis Kelce, sure.
Yeah, I know. You won't ever stop talking about him.
That's off air.
Not anymore.
Dang it. I'm reading a story right now.
Yeah. We get all of our Taylor knowledge from him watching shorts of Travis Kelce all the time.
Watch him in shorts all the time.
You know, I was a little bit surprised in the first segment.
YouTube shorts.
In the
YouTube shorts.
In the first
Whatever
segment,
floats your boat.
When you made
We're talking about your boat. Go on, Ethan.
You made a comment about Kamala being more flattering to look at than Trump or Tim Walz, and I was honestly surprised that didn't get any pushback from Ryan.
Oh, I would have, but she was on a tear.
She was kind of feeling it.
I got to let her go.
Were you respecting?
Yeah, I was respecting you.
Mm-hmm.
You are the most down the middle speaker I've ever heard.
I'm usually pretty much to the right.
That's what I meant.
Are you saying I'm failing?
Yep.
At least we understand each other.
Harris team asks if her mic can just be muted for the whole debate.
That's got to be the B.
That's the B. Surprise, surprise. Trump campaign senior advisor Jason Miller said in a statement, quote, "There is literally no point in debate if one person isn't going to speak." Then Kamala's quote, fake quote, of course, is kind of long, but I'm not only the first female vice president, but the first person of color also. I'm a pioneer. You know, pioneers, they traveled across the country to find a new life for themselves, like I'm going to find new life in muting my mic. Laughter. So that I don't talk. That's why I should talk, right? I mean, why? Because a picture is worth 1,000 words, and I'm like a picture, a real moving talking picture.
Okay, I can't take any more.
Well,
Stop
not
it.
the talking part,
Stop
laughter.
it. I don't even like the fake quotes of Kamala Harris's.
I knew that was
They're
long.
better than
and
the
I'm like,
real ones.
It just keeps going. It just keeps going.
We have a Twitch person who said, "Why are you reading fake quotes? Is this news?" No, the answer is no. It's actually literally fake news.
Yeah.
Which is why we said that.
We keep saying it in the segment, so I'm not sure how you could gather that we're reading real
But
headlines.
Thank you to our one Twitch viewer.
Yes, thank you very much. Now, again, these just so if you're just tuning in
Just now.
and you're on Twitch and you're the only person there, we're talking literally directly to you right now.
Yeah.
This is the B or not the B.
Forget about the thousands of people in St. Louis right now.
Yeah, the tens of thousands in their
That don't
cars.
matter.
We're talking to this one guy.
We've already spent more time on this than
If-
necessary.
If you hear a headline, what we're doing is a little game that we call B or not the B. Some of these are real headlines. Some of them are satire. You have to decide which ones.
And some of them are just for now, but will be true later headlines.
Right. Coworkers complaining about stinky cubicle employee surprised to find out she's dead.
Oh, that's real.
That's real. 4 days dead.
You saw this.
Yes.
This is real.
I didn't read the article because it creeped me out so much, but now I want to know more.
If you ever think you're neglected at work, be grateful that it's not this bad. That's how the article opens. Wells Fargo employee, doesn't say her name, died at a Tempe office, wasn't found until days later, authorities said. She scanned into work on August 16th. Security at the building found her name dead inside the building 4 days after she clocked in, after a colleague found her because several people had smelled a foul odor.
That's so sad.
But passed it off as faulty plumbing. Most of the employees in the division work remotely. So they didn't know she was even there.
Okay, that's what I was curious of is how do you not find that out in a cubicle?
I don't know. Like, how come it goes for 4 days before?
Yeah.
Dirk wants to say this is a perfectly average segment.
Thank you.
Thank you. That's what we're here for.
Thank you.
The YouTube live chat poll today is who would you rather ride a roller coaster with, Trump or Harris? And we've got some of your comments coming in here. Jackie said, I'm with Trump because he would make me laugh. His windblown hair would be hilarious, and his firm grip, have you seen some of his handshakes, would be a great distraction. Jackie, let's see here. Let's get to Dirk's. He said, I chose Trump. Curious as to how his hair would look at the end of the ride. You know he'd just let that sucker fly, too.
Or it would look the exact same.
I don't know, because when he's at a event or something like that, he's always talking about he'll be like, see, look, it's real.
Yeah.
He let Jimmy Fallon like rough it up a little bit.
But if the point was he was going to ride a roller coaster, I think he would have that thing just completely stiffed.
You know, in the world of influencer content and everything, wouldn't it be funny for people to interview Donald Trump on a roller coaster?
Yeah,
I feel like
it.
he'd be like extra honest, which not like we need.
He'd,
It's pretty straightforward to begin
he'd
with.
just be talking about the border. Same thing.
Maybe he'd be really sweet.
Yeah.
I don't know. Let us know what you think on the Andy Fry YouTube channel. We'll be right back.
You know, I always said for years to save my number in your phone so you don't forget. And here's why. Today, I was calling the office. So I mentioned the office number. Probably have said it, not to exaggerate, over 1,000 times. I called the office today and I dialed the wrong number. When it connected, it said number you call not in order, not in use, whatever they say that. Now I am freaking out. I'm a very small business owner, and that's my lifeline. Very long story to try to make it shorter. And if Andrew can do this, I'm producing it. That's why I say save the number in your phone. Save it under BART. That's with a B. You can save it under air conditioning. That's with an A. Or whatever helps you remember, because if your memory is like mine, it's easy to forget. 314-293-2600. That's BART. with a B.
While retinitis pigmentosa takes Mark's vision, his family gives him hope, whether at the family business or at home with his wife and sons. He knows he's not fighting alone. For 50 years, the Foundation Fighting Blindness has funded research into treatments and cures for blinding retinal diseases, providing hope to people with vision loss. And for Mark, winning the fight means being there for his family. The Foundation Fighting Blindness. Together, we're winning. Help us end blinding diseases at fightingblindness.org.
Retired or retiring soon? How much money do you need to live comfortably? Retirement Planners of America is here for you. Would you like to have financial peace of mind? Here's how. Step 1. Find out the amount of money you'll need to retire. Step 2. Have a plan to get there. Step 3. Make sure that plan can take advantage of market gains but protect you from market losses. Discover how to do all three with a free consultation at 800-508-6108. That's 800-508-6108.
All investments involve risk, including losses. Past performance does not guarantee future results.
KFTK FM Florissant. From the Under Law Injury Lawyers, GetJim.com studio.
That's GetJim.com.
97.1 FM Talk. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
One candidate might be in theaters before Election Day. Lisa Brady, Fox News, just getting word that The Apprentice, a movie about former President Trump's rise to power in New York real estate, has found a distributor, and the plan is to release it in October in the U.S. and Canada. However, a Trump campaign spokesperson has previously called that movie pure fiction, threatening a lawsuit. Trump has a Pennsylvania rally today and has been slamming Vice President Harris in social media posts after her first sit-down interview.
The Vice President says her values have not changed, but that leaves open questions on big issues like the border. For instance, in 2019, she said illegal border crossings should be decriminalized and treated as a civil matter. But now the campaign tells Fox that Harris's view is the same as the administration's, that unauthorized crossings are illegal, and, quote, the vice president's positions have been shaped by 3 years of effective governance as part of the Biden-Harris administration.
Fox's Jackie Heinrich at the White House. Trump says he'll expose Harris as a fraud during their first debate in September. Ukraine's president has just fired his Air Force commander 4 days after an F-16 warplane received from Western partners crashed during a Russian bombardment.
U.S. experts joined the Ukrainian investigation into why one of the country's new warplanes crashed. It's the first reported loss of an F-16 in Ukraine since they arrived at the end of last month. Meanwhile, on the front lines, Russia is still struggling to repel Ukrainian forces from the Kursk region. Russian troops instead continue to push ahead in the Donetsk area. And this week, Russia also took aim at Ukraine's power grid with one of the largest attacks on energy facilities since the start of the war.
Fox's Alex Hogan, a convicted killer from Brazil, just pleading guilty to more charges in Pennsylvania after escaping last year in Chester County and spending 2 weeks on the run. America is listening to Fox News.
Seems like there's more identity theft in the news every day.
Another major healthcare breach was reported today, resulting in the exposure of 1 in 4 consumers have been a victim of identity.
That's because there are endless places that could accidentally expose you to identity theft, in a breach, or simply by mistake. LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points a second. If your identity is stolen, we'll fix it, guaranteed or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
Hey, checking in?
This is not just your flu shot appointment at Walgreens.
Yes. Yeah.
This is getting your entire family vaccinated in one trip.
Hey, Mom?
And a snack on the way out. Get flu shots for everyone in your family, together. Schedule appointments online today. This is wellness made easy. Walgreens.
Vaccine subject to availability and for ages 3+. State and health-related restrictions may apply.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation. Weather.
Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
A couple of scattered showers and thunderstorms going through our Friday afternoon. It's still warm and humid, 92. A better shot of scattered showers and thunderstorms tonight. That's cool front coming in. Saturday, some leftover thunderstorms in the morning. Otherwise, partly sunny and cooler with a slow drop-off in humidity, 82. Sunday, sunny, 86. Monday, sunny, 79, 80. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Is your home, business, or church looking tired, chalky, or in need of curb appeal? Go Rhino. Tired of painting year after year? Go Rhino. Our unique 3M ceramic technology is perfect for brick, stucco, aluminum, steel, color lock masonite, and more. It's backed by our 25-year transferable warranty to not chip, crack, or peel. Great if you're staying, and even better if you're selling. Our ceramic coating allows you to maintain all of your architectural features. The decision to do vinyl will leave your home looking like a plastic moldy box. With Rhino Shield, in 15 years, your home will still have that, wow, it looks like you just got it painted. We've done large condo complexes, parking garages, pole barns, and commercial strip malls. We coat sloped and flat roofs to extend their lives too. Evaluations are free. 877-25-RHINO or 877-25rhino.com. See what we did there? Genius. Tell them, ladies.
Don't paint, don't vinyl, go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Attention Missouri Medicaid members. If you need assistance with daily living, you can receive a free service from Freedom Care in your own home from a loved one. With Freedom Care, you decide who provides your daily care with help preparing meals, bathing, laundry, transportation, and more. A family member or friend that gets paid instantly after every shift. It's all funded by Medicaid and 100% free to you. Call now to check your eligibility. New to Medicaid, the Freedom Care family will guide you through enrollment, making it stress-free for patients and caregivers. With over 5,000 five-star Google reviews, we've perfected at-home care for Medicaid members and caregivers. This service is free to you through Medicaid, and with our InstaPay app, caregivers are paid instantly. So go to freedomcare.com or call 314-557-7915. 314-557-7915. 314-557-7915.
We love to celebrate Labor Day weekend with family, friends, picnics, and parties. Please be safe this holiday weekend and don't drink and drive. From your friends at Odyssey and Onder Law Injury Lawyers.
At Odyssey, we believe in casting a wide net to create a diverse and inclusive workforce, as we value the power of community and encourage local organizations to help us in referring qualified applicants to our stations. If you're a community organization interested in receiving our vacancy information, simply email equalemployment@odyssey.com. You'll be directly notified of our open positions. Again, that's equalemployment@odyssey.com. And for our listeners, we invite you to visit odysseyinc.com/careers. There, you'll find an online listing of job openings at all Odyssey radio stations.
The Annie Fry Show YouTube live chat poll of the day is happening now. Tune in to the Annie Fry Show live stream. Vote and be a part of the conversation by typing in Annie Fry on YouTube. Subscribe and leave a comment.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
All right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Fry Show.
The voters are really eager to hear what your plans are. If you are elected, what would you do on day one in the White House?
Well, there are a number of things. I will tell you, first and foremost, one of my highest priorities is to do what we can to support and strengthen the middle class. When I look at the aspirations, the goals, the ambitions of the American people, I think that people are ready for a new way forward, in a way that generations of Americans have been fueled by hope and by optimism. I think, sadly, in the last decade, we have had in the former president someone who has really been pushing an agenda and an environment that is about diminishing the character and the strength of who we are as Americans, really dividing our nation, and I think people are ready to turn the page on that.
Welcome to the Annie Fry Show.
I got bored in the middle of that.
She's talking so slow. Anyway, that's not the point. I mean, it's kind of the point. the question is, and this was maybe the first actual question of the interview. What are you going to do on day one? If you said to Donald Trump, what are you going to do on day one of your presidency? How many things do you think he would be able to list off that were day one actions?
Probably 4 or 5. He might just keep going too.
I think it's a lot more than that. If you're talking about simple executive orders that you can sign.
Oh, yeah.
In order, on day one, I'm going to do this. On day one, I mean, if you think about day one is a capital D-O thing in politics. On day one, I am going to blah, 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 blah. And if you listen to Joe Biden and the way he has talked leading into becoming the president and then also what he's bragged about, day one, the number one thing they did was shut down the Keystone Pipeline. You could day one open the Keystone Pipeline. There are a lot of day one things you can do. She says, I'm going to do a number of things. And the only thing she said she was going to do was strengthen the middle class. Now, imagine a scenario just for a second where on day one, Kamala Harris, as the president, could effectively, provably strengthen the middle class. Imagine that was actually even realistic, and then add in the fact that she's been the vice president of an administration that's chosen 3.5 years to not do that. And she's been a part of it. And she goes on in this interview later to brag about the transformative job that Joe Biden has done as a president and how history is going to look back on Joe Biden and really find him to be a consequential president. When you say to a candidate, what are you going to do on day one? And they give you some sort of theoretical, broad platitude, we're going to strengthen the middle class. Oh, yeah? How are you going to do that? Dana, that was the question that you should have asked in the follow-up that you didn't. But that's not an answer. Does Kamala Harris know that's a non-answer? I think so, because she never gives definitive answers. There's no substance whatsoever. And it's very frustrating to hear Dana ask a question that is a pointed question. You're waiting to hear that she's going to say that she's going to do something on energy, climate change, taxes, some sort of subsidies, border stuff. I mean, you want to talk about day one? I bet you Donald Trump could spend an hour listing things that they're going to do on day one just simply on the border. She spends 1 minute and 4 seconds and giving only 1 point, which is to strengthen the middle class, which is an idea. It's not an action. And, we could discuss, if we knew the details, whether or not her thoughts on strengthening the middle class would actually effectively do that. She spends 1 minute and 4 seconds of a 28-minute interview giving a non-answer about what she's going to do on day one, and half of it is spent criticizing Donald Trump. I repeat what I've said before. She's got nothing. And she doesn't think that she has to have anything. She thinks not being Trump is going to be enough. And I really don't see that materializing for the American people. Here she is when asked about the border.
Joe Biden and I and our administration worked with members of the United States Congress on an immigration issue that is very significant to the American people and to our security, which is the border.
She's said nothing so far. That's 12 seconds of her saying absolutely nothing, saying the names of people who are involved and saying that they worked together.
And through bipartisan work, including some of the most conservative members of the United States Congress, a bill was crafted, which we supported, which I support. And Donald Trump got word of this bill that would have contributed to securing our border, and because he believes that it would not have helped him politically, he told his folks in Congress, don't put it forward. He killed the bill. A border security bill that would have put 1,500 more agents on the border.
1,500 more agents that were going to process people into the country, not stop people from coming. You remember that wall that you said you support now? That medieval vanity project, that was what you said about Donald Trump's wall when it was his wall. Now, for some reason, you support it. When we talk about this bipartisan border bill, I think the Kentucky, was it a Republican senator from Kentucky that maybe was the bipartisan effort?
Was it Langford from Oklahoma?
Oklahoma, yes.
Okay.
I was actually thinking Kentucky, and I'm like, I don't think that's left on the map enough. West.
There you go.
this is the part you're never going to hear explained in a political conversation. The reason why Donald Trump came out against this bill and pushed so hard for them to not support it is because the American people revolted on support for this bill. The bill never had America's bipartisan support. Some people in the swamp decided to put this bill together while other Republicans in the Senate said, this is a terrible idea. Why would we streamline the process of getting people in here? When we say putting more agents on the border and you're talking about putting more judges on, they're just trying to adjudicate these processes faster so that they can come into the country. There's still like a 2 or 3 month turnaround, according to that bill, should it have passed. There'd still be a 2 or 3 month turnaround where if you come here, you claim asylum, you've got to come back in 2 or 3 months. It's like less than 5% of the people who are supposed to return for their court date actually come back for their court date. What they wanted to do was streamline the process so more people could come into this and be in the system, a system that they don't participate in, which you could tell by the evidence that they're actually coming here in the first place.
Yeah, it would have made illegals more legal quicker.
Yes, exactly.
Not even legal, but just more official.
You put a wall up?
Yeah.
Like the ones they were putting around the DNC? Why? I don't know, to keep people out? Keep people in? Maybe nobody ever considered that. Don't leave. Don't leave. I know it's terrible.
Oh, bro.
Stay here. Don't make me go to Hottie's for Harris. Don't do it. I need to leave.
I'm not a huge fan of John Legend. Get me out.
I thought Hulk Hogan was going to be here.
Turned down for what?
When you see the Democrats repeatedly putting walls up in order to police situations that are favorable to them, but they're like, screw the wall around the country, no problem, nothing to see here. It's a little disheartening, but it's very predictable as well. Now, whenever they come back and they say, we had a bipartisan bill and it failed because of Trump. Trump was the voice of the American people to those that were in the swamp in D.C. saying, don't do this, bad bill. Don't give the Democrats what they want here, which is a streamlined process to keep illegal immigration hopping. Donald Trump, to his credit, was the voice of the American people to the D.C. swamp to say, knock this off. This is not a win. Yes, if you do this, it's going to make the Democrats look like they got some kind of bipartisan win on the border. The problem with that was not that the Democrats would have a win, it's that they would call it a bipartisan win and it would be a bigger loss for the American people. Don't pass a bad bill. And Senator Langford, among other Republicans, were like, you're right, we're backing away. That is what happened there. Now, the Democrats do have the talking point about this bipartisan bill that was written, which is on Langford for participating in the process and not seeing the forest for the trees to begin with. But thank God for Donald Trump, who stopped this stupid, bad bill from being passed in the first place, because he was the one listening to the American people and saying, this is not what we want, and pushing that on. He is influential enough that, just think for a hot second that Donald Trump's influence on how legislation is passed in Congress as a non-president was clearly more influential than the guy who is the president of the United States. That's the kind of leadership we need.
Yeah, Langford was, it was a little bit of old-fashioned politics that he thought, you know what, if we can even get a little bit done with Democrats, because it's so bad that maybe they'll do a good faith negotiation with us, we can get something done. So he entered into negotiations with them. That was the original bipartisanship part of it. Then Democrats changed it. Republicans wanted more. Democrats wanted less. Democrats changed it and said, why won't you now vote for this bipartisan bill? Well, because it's not at all what we had originally agreed on. So it really, if you want to really examine it, what it looks like is Democrats had no intention of fixing the border at all, entered into those negotiations just to get this election talking point, and they have used it and used it and used it, and there are still leftists in our chat that believe that.
Yeah, but the important part is they're here.
Welcome.
I wanted to play this clip because you boys both were saying that you found this one to be, I think the word you used was entertaining.
My family was staying with us, and including my baby nieces, and we had just had pancakes and Auntie, can I have more bacon? Yes, I'll make you more bacon. And then we were sitting down to do a puzzle. And the phone rang, and it was Joe Biden. And he told me what he had decided to do. And I asked him, "Are you sure?" And he said yes. And that's how I learned about it.
So a couple of things. Was the puzzle like, how do I become the president? Aside from that, when I think about this conversation, what do I know? I've never been there. I don't have any intel from the inside, but it really is kind of shocking to me that in the midst of everything that was going on and him doing press conferences to prove that he was capable, and it was really proving quite the opposite, listening to person after person after person on the left start to peel off and be like, I just don't think this is right. I don't think that he should be the guy. And then everybody else pushing back 3 times as hard, saying he's never been better. He's got so much. I mean, it was like none of it. No, you can't lie to us and expect us to just go along with it. Kamala Harris being the leader of the pack of people who are saying that he was A-OK and hard for her to keep up with. Imagine that Joe Biden is hard for Kamala Harris to keep up with, and she's the one who they're like, she should be president. That doesn't make any sense. But in the midst of all of this, isn't it strange that the president of the United States called the vice president of the United States while she was making bacon and doing puzzles with her kids and was like, hey, I'm dropping out? Doesn't that deserve more than a breakfast phone call?
Also, just the idea that she had no idea. Like, Joe's fine.
You're kidding me.
He's going to continue to be the president because he's sharp as a tack. I've said it 1,000 times, and so has everybody else on every major station. He is sharp as a tack. And then he calls me while I'm doing a puzzle and tells me that he's going to drop out. I'm like, what?
Yeah. Blew my mind. Dana followed up with her and asked her, did you ask for his endorsement? And Kamala's response was, no, he made it very clear right away. I'm dropping out. And part of the conversation was, you get my full endorsement. Wouldn't you want to have, for both people, wouldn't you want to have that conversation face to face?
Yeah. Wouldn't you want to hear about it outside of Twitter? Like, you're going to announce, I don't think I'm going to run for president again. Just in a tweet. You don't even know if it's him.
It's something. Okay, here's what I want to do. We're shuffling things around today. I want to take phone calls. I want to hear what you guys think. You can answer one of 2 questions when you call us at 314-241-9797. The first question is, what did you think about Kamala Harris's interview with Dana Bash? And Tim Walz, he was there too. Forgot about that. You can grade the interview and give your reaction to it. And the second question you can ask, you got to pick one or the others. Who would you rather ride a roller coaster with? And why? Kamala Harris or Donald Trump? You can give us a call at 314-241-9797, 314-241-9797, and tell us what you think about that interview last night. Love to hear your thoughts on it. We've talked about it quite a bit. In the 2 o'clock hour, we'll do Ask Us Anything. How's that sound?
Yeah.
Good. Send us your questions on the YouTube chat as to what you would like us to answer. We got Ethan and Ryan and myself in here today, and we're here to answer anything that you want to ask us. And when we come back, your phone calls, your reactions to the Kamala Harris interview. 314-241-9797. Back in a minute.
You're listening to the Annie Fry Show. Follow Annie on Twitter at Annie Fry Show.
Surprise! Surprise! You know, surprise parties, they can be fun, right? Well, financial surprises, not so much, especially when you're retired, like finding out you owe more in taxes than you thought you would, or having to go back to work to make ends meet. Maybe you think you'll be okay, but why not double check just to be sure? Call Marvin Mitchell at Compass Retirement Solutions and schedule a retirement double check. Marvin and his team have been helping families plan for retirement for more than 15 years. Call 314-373-1598 to schedule your retirement double check with Marvin Mitchell at Compass Retirement Solutions. That's 314-373-1598. Don't let a financial surprise derail your retirement dreams. Give Marvin and the team a call, 314-373-1598. Firm offers insurance services, investments, and services offered through Compass Retirement Group, a registered investment advisory in Missouri and in Illinois.
Upgrade your family vacation with an unforgettable escape to the Palm Beaches. From outdoor adventures and laid-back beaches to thrilling family attractions and animal encounters, the Palm Beaches have something for everyone. Discover premier resorts with creative kids clubs that will keep the little ones entertained while you enjoy world-class golf and spas. We are the original, the one, the only, the Palm Beaches. Plan your trip at thepalmbeaches.com.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer whenever I want? Can we sleep cooler? Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. 94% of Sleep Number smart sleepers report better sleep. And now, during our biggest sale of the year, save 50% on the Sleep Number limited edition smart bed. Plus free home delivery on select smart beds when you add any base. Ends Labor Day. To find a store near you, visit sleepnumber.com.
As fall approaches, you have a lot to prepare for. Back to school, sporting events, family gatherings, and staying on top of your health. The virus that causes COVID-19 continues to evolve. So this fall, no matter what you're prepping for, you can prioritize your family's health and make a game plan for COVID-19 vaccination. Ask your doctor or pharmacist to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Gain peace of mind that your flooring and carpet installation will be done right the first time when you hire the experts at Michael's Flooring Outlet. They give all their clients attentive personal service, even bring toys for the kids of the household. It's a family-owned and operated business for 25-plus years. They make sure you make the right choice for your home. So if you have carpets or hard floors, you're going to be happy for years to come. 3 convenient locations in St. Charles County, 116 Main Street, in Old Town St. Peters at Mid-Rivers and Highway 70, in West County on Olive, and the store in Darden Prairie. Michael's Flooring Outlet, igotfloor.com.
You're listening to the Annie Fry Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation Studio. If you're not sure who to call for air conditioning services, contact the team at Air Comfort Service. With 55 years of experience and thousands of 5-star reviews, you can trust them with the comfort of your home. Visit aircomfortservice.com.
The Mark Reardon Show.
Friday afternoon, what a hard-hitting interview on CNN of Kamala Harris and Tim Walz. We will talk about it and break it down on the Reardon Roundtable. It all starts at 3.
Weekdays from 3 to 6.
St. Louis's home for conservative talk.
Will you hold the line when every one of them is giving up and giving in? Tell me, in this house of mine, nothing ever comes without a consequence of cost. Tell me, will the stars align? Will heaven step in? Will it save us from our sin? Will it? Cause this house of mine stands strong. That's the price you pay. Leave behind your heart and cast away. Just another product of today. Rather be the hunter than the prey. And you're standing on the edge, face up, cause you're a natural.
I think riding a roller coaster with Trump would be fantastic. He would be all, pumping fist in the air, having a good time, woo-hoo. And I think Kamala would be screaming like a little girl. And I couldn't stand that. So.
Barry, thank you for the for the recording. That's our YouTube live chat poll for today. Who would you rather ride a roller coaster with, Donald Trump or Kamala Harris? And if you want to leave us one of those voice messages, if you go to the Odyssey app where you can stream 97.1 FM Talk, it's very simple. You just click the little microphone next to where you would play 97.1 FM Talk into your phone, and then that's all you do. Is that as I understand it?
Yeah, that's it. You just hit that microphone, and it records you, and then you can send it. You can edit it. You don't have to send it. If you don't like what you did, you can redo it or whatever, or not send it at all. So it's not like
once you do it.
It's not like you're in now.
Yeah.
It's going to the show.
It's not like what we do for a living.
That's exactly what we do.
Once we do it, You're just going to have to live that one.
Yeah.
Live that one out and live it
We
down.
are live all the time.
We are going to take phone calls right now, 314-241-9797, 314-241-9797. And I want to know one of two things. You can give us a call, and Ethan or Drew will take your phone call and screen it and tell us which of these topics you want to discuss. How did you feel about Kamala Harris's CNN interview? Let us know your reaction to it. What would you, if you were grading it?
Yeah, I actually would give it a C because that's exactly what they were shooting for. In that sense, it was an A, but they were going for the most average, hey, we did it. It didn't make a lot of waves. You didn't notice it. Let's just go away now.
Simply, every morning when I wake up and I get a news alert, 36 days, and Kamala Harris hasn't done an interview, 37 days. Now that headline is gone.
That's the point.
I woke up today and it said 40 days and Kamala Harris hasn't done a press conference.
Nice.
And I was
Thank
like,
you.
Well, that's true.
Yeah.
So we want to take your phone calls. You can react to Kamala Harris's interview, but you can also answer the question. If you don't want to do that, call in and tell us, who would you rather ride a roller coaster with, Donald Trump or Kamala Harris? And we're going to go through these as fast as we can. So we're going to put you on. You can make your point, and then we're going to get to the rest of the phone calls because we got quite a few to get to here. I'm going to start with Mark. Mark, thanks for calling the Andy Fry Show. Go ahead. What do you think?
Yeah, thanks. So really, I didn't call in for that. I called in because you guys, listen, the nationally syndicated show, I travel, these nationally syndicated shows have absolutely nothing on you guys. As a matter of fact, when I am in town and I'm tuning in, I'm scanning in the car, and you come on, and I really assumed, my assumption is this is a national, and then you call, here, you want to call in, it's a St. Louis number. You guys, I mean, this format, the way you have it right now, that is a winner.
Oh, thanks,
and
Dad.
I'm telling you what, listen to me. Somebody ought to take this. You guys you have a great show.
Oh, I'm so uncomfortable right now, but that's so nice.
And by the way, that interview doesn't count. It's got to be, she has to be extemporaneous. She has to be, sorry, someone's calling it. She's got to be able to take questions on the fly, without preparation. I mean, my gosh, come on.
Yeah.
Anyway, thanks again.
Mark, thank you. That was incredibly kind.
I got to tell you, he's right about everything except the show.
Give me my pen back. I just dropped it.
It went right in my eye. Just an accident, I guess.
You weren't using that anyway.
No, he's right, though. Annie, I'm going to do the opposite now. Annie, you really do a great job. You put this thing together every day. It's like herding cats, and I mean to put this thing together. It needs a strong hand at the top.
You can have an oatmeal cream pie. They're in the top drawer.
Thank you. I'll be right back.
Mark, that was very kind of you. Thank you. Mark is not my dad. I wouldn't. It's not your dad, right?
That's my dad.
Okay.
Mark Wiggins.
Mark Wiggins.
That's a good ring to it.
Yeah. Let's get to Jordan. Jordan, thanks for calling the Annie Fry Show. You want to tell us, who would you rather ride a roller coaster with, Donald Trump or Kamala Harris?
For sure. Jordan, you know what I mean? Longtime listener, a.k.a. Grimy314 in the chat. Shout out to all the lefties out there in the chat.
Well, you welcome
but
you.
I would not want to ride with Trump, so I would ride with Kamala. Because I don't know if the last time you guys rode a roller coaster with like a 80-year-old senior citizen. I don't know if he could take it, if it, the strain on his heart. He doesn't eat the best. He's not in the best shape. I'm just going to go with the safer option.
So you're going with Kamala Harris because you're afraid Trump would die or have a medical event?
I'm afraid Grandpa Trump would die on that on the roller coaster, depending on which one we go on.
Did Joe Biden's age bother you?
Yeah, it did.
It did. I believe you.
It most definitely did.
Yeah, I believe you.
I don't think that's a terrible concern.
It's like, what kind of risks are we taking here in the long run?
If we're strictly talking roller coasters, no Trump. And then if I could add a little bit, the interview, I mean, if we're going to criticize the CNN interview, we got to also criticize the Theo Von interview. We got to criticize the Elon Musk interview. They're the same thing. Nobody was taking the really hard-hitting questions. They're all softballs.
I think actually Theo Von asked more pointed, direct questions about policy of Donald Trump, and I am sugaring you not here that the actual push that Theo Von had towards Donald Trump regarding lobbyists, big pharma, and all of that was more direct and pointed, and he actually followed up in a way that made me uncomfortable. I'm like, dude, let it go, move on. I think we all here have said that the CNN interview wasn't bad. I don't think it was good. I think it was a nothing burger.
Well, you can criticize the Theo Vaughn and the Elon Musk and stuff like that as being, that's all friendly territory. But I mean, J.D. Vance and Trump do hostile interviews all the time.
Yeah.
So there is a big difference there.
When was the last hostile interview?
I mean, J.D. Vance literally sat down with Dana Bash just like 2 weeks ago. So it's the same. So I'm sorry.
Okay, but real quick before we let you go, Jordan, and we do appreciate that you listen to the show and you do participate in the
Long
YouTube
time
chat.
listener.
We appreciate
Long
you. Would you like to see Kamala Harris sit down with a Brett Baer or a Fox News host?
Would I like to see it? No. Do I think that she could stand up to it and come out looking like way better than Trump would on some of these what you would call opposing outlets? Yes, I think she's smart enough. I think that she wouldn't go into it and get emotional. I think that she's someone that can handle herself in a hostile situation.
Why wouldn't you want her to take that opportunity and win that interview?
Because I think that it's like a feeding ground, right? I think the people are just going to go in for the kill, much like they do Trump. I'm not even going to like they do when it's not your home turf. People are going to go in with the questions that they know, or they're going to try and befuddle you. They're going to try and make you look dumb. They're going to try and have stuff for the pundits to talk about the next day. So would I want to see that happen to her? No, but do I think that she could handle it? Most definitely.
Jordan, last question, which I think I already said once. Do you think that Kamala Harris's interview was on home turf?
I mean, most definitely.
Okay. Yeah, this is why I like him.
Okay.
I like you, Jordan. Thank you for calling. I appreciate it.
For sure.
Take care. Let's get to Steve's call. Steve, thanks for calling the Annie Fry Show. The Kamala Harris CNN interview, what do you think?
Are you inquiring as to Steve?
Yes, go ahead, Steve.
That would be myself.
Yes.
Her responses were entirely too vague, entirely unspecific, and she came back with simply platitudes. An easy example of that was when it was asked why she would now enforce the border, where she had not done so previously, and she said her values were the same. If you could reverse that and ask, what would you say if President Trump said that he was now going to open the borders and allow criminals in, but don't worry, his values were the same and he hadn't changed? People would go crazy over that answer, but they let Kamala Harris get away with it.
Do you think she helped herself last night or made a difference?
I do not. She spoke for 17 minutes. That was it. And the entire interview was 1 hour, so it was edited down, obviously. I think it was entirely too vague, and the interviewer simply let her get away with things. I think it was a mild negative. Mm-hmm. And she looked physically small.
Yes.
When you look at it, I mean, she looked extremely, she obviously is smaller than Tim Walz, but she also looked physically diminished, even against Dana Bash.
Which is an unforced error. I don't know why they did that.
It was weird.
Steve, thank you for the phone call. We appreciate you.
All right.
Take care. Great voice, too. You could sound more like Steve.
Steve, you want to be the station voice?
Is that up?
You can just do it on the phone if you want to.
Let me get to Dorothy is on the line here. Who would you rather ride a roller coaster with, Donald Trump or Kamala Harris, Dorothy?
Donald Trump, because he'd put his arm around me and he'd say, "Thing there, it's going to be all right."
Oh, it's all feelings with you guys.
I love it. She just wants to feel safe and secure.
Can I comment on one thing that I'm shocked no one has commented on?
Sure.
As I recall, it was around 2007 or 8 that I can't even remember who was president. I think it was Obama, but he said everyone deserves home ownership. We're going to make it easier for them to have home ownership. And what happened 2 years later? Everything fell apart. Mm. We had that huge breakdown. Companies went out of business. It was awful. And now they want to do it again?
Yeah.
Excuse me?
Dorothy.
History repeats itself.
We all want Donald Trump to put his arm around us and tell us it's going to be okay. And steering clear from socialism is kind of like square one. I think you're spot on. Thanks, Dorothy. Thank you. We appreciate you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Really, on a roller coaster, anybody that wants to sit next to me and tell me it's okay, that's fine.
It's funny because when I sit next to you on roller coasters, I'm like, you could die.
Yeah, that's why I don't like riding roller coasters
You
with you.
especially wanted to be Travis Kelce.
Yeah, I know. Gosh.
In shorts.
Did you and I ride any roller coasters together?
I don't think we rode
No, I think we
a ride.
Did we ride Slinky together?
Oh, we did. Slinky Dog Dash.
It was like a thing.
Yeah, we did a whole video. I don't know if we ever used it, but
No, I have. I think I have the video of us riding Slinky Dog Dash together.
me and you, and then Brad and Hannah behind us.
Yeah.
I think in that video. Yeah. I don't remember much other than that we were on camera the whole time, and I had to think about that instead of the ride.
I probably didn't upload it anywhere because I laughed the whole time.
Yes,
and
you did.
I was like giggling the whole time,
Yeah.
and it's like it's super annoying when you go back and watch it. I don't know if we're gonna ever share that. Brian, who would you rather ride a roller coaster with, Donald Trump or Kamala Harris?
Kamala Harris.
Why?
I want to have Mexican food first. I want to release a bunch of gas just to make her life so miserable as they have done for me and uncomfortable for the last several years. And then the second thing is I'd really like to see a real debate between the two with no mediator. I want Trump to ask questions. I want Kamala to ask questions so we can each see what they really stand for and the differences, and not just, oh, this one's being weak on the questions and pampering, and, because those two would tear each other up, or one of them would.
It would be interesting, especially if they both ate Mexican food right before that
Shoot,
interview.
at this point, put him in an octagon and put just one mic in there.
Brian,
Whoever wins it.
There you go.
Quite a phone call. Thank you for reaching out to us.
Just wants to fart on
It's
him.
almost
Love your show,
unfair
guys. Thank
to
you for
say.
being on.
Thank you, Brian. We appreciate you.
It's almost unfair to say something as funny as that and then go straight into. But actually, this is what I think about
The debate.
It was just so quick. And he was like, he couldn't breathe over there.
He like really thought that out.
Here's what I'll do.
He wants to gas Kamala Harris out.
I'll just get real gassy.
But the point, it wasn't just like he would take pleasure in that. He was like, his point was, I want to make her as uncomfortable as she has made me.
Yeah. Yeah.
That could end up being dangerous for him too, though. So he's willing to put himself in a dangerous position just for her to suffer. Wow.
Oh, man.
You think she would back off of communism if somebody farted next to him really like that? I don't know.
Imagine if all of this time and all of these years, that's all it took.
That's what it took? Oh, man.
I got a response from Timothy on our voice chats that have been left. How can people go leave us some more of those, Ryan?
If you're listening online or you'd like to listen online, find 97.1 through the Odyssey app, and then find the microphone in the button in the right down corner. I said that very well. Bottom right corner, microphone, hit it. You record a message, and we get it, man. Thank you for letting me do that.
Silky.
I went
Silky
to you
smooth.
so it would be clear.
Yep.
And now I feel like people have changed the station.
You can leave anytime, but hey, you know
No.
what? You should do not leave.
More phone calls when we come back. Can we, Ryan? You need to leave. I'm running low on people here on this show today, but I'm gonna have to ask you just take a minute. You go get one of those oatmeal cream pies. We'll be right back.
The Annie Fry Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
Jules on Hampton in St. Louis Hills is paying some of the highest prices on gold, silver, diamonds, semi-precious colored stones, and fine watches on site. Jules on Hampton is a premier jeweler with an exquisite selection of diamonds, semi-precious stone jewelry, and vintage watches. Their expert design team can restyle your jewelry to today's contemporary style. They also do jewelry and watch repair. Need extra cash? Jules on Hampton is paying some of the highest prices on gold, silver, diamonds, semi-precious colored stones, and fine watches. Bring in your collectibles and clocks, sports memorabilia, and figurines too. Jules on Hampton, 4506 Hampton, just 3 blocks south of Chippewa. Call them at 314-752-5000. Jules on Hampton.
If you're looking for all the comforts of home plus some in a senior living community, check out Hampton Manor of Wentzville, just off the Lake St. Louis exit at Highway 70. They'll even treat you to lunch. Set up your appointment today and tell them Mark Cox sent you. WentzvilleAssistedLiving.com.
Scott, I have a new word, floor-nancing.
What are you saying, flooring or financing?
Actually, both, because at Best Buy Flooring, we have the largest selection of carpet tile, luxury vinyl plank, luxury vinyl tile, ceramic tile, laminate, and hardwood.
Yes, and free financing for qualified buyers.
3 convenient locations, North County, South County, and O'Fallon, Illinois.
Open 7 days a week, including at South County. Best flooring, best selection, Best Buy Flooring.
The questions that matter are right here on 97.1 FM Talk, your home for conservative talk. This is the Annie Fry Show. We want to know, who would you rather ride a roller coaster with? The president or the vice president? As in Trump or Harris? Let us know which one. That's today's YouTube live chat poll. You can find it by typing in Annie Fry on YouTube. It'll come up, and let us know there. 143. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
Tucker Carlson is paying Missouri a visit, and we're inviting you to join us to see him for free on September 12th at T-Mobile Center in Kansas City. Tickets are on sale now, but you can register for a chance to win online at 971talk.com now until August 30th. You're listening to The Annie Fry Show.
Sweet pea, apple of my... We should play this music in the background of you and me riding Slinky Dog together.
Yeah, this or let the bodies hit the floor. Just test both.
Same vibe.
See which one you like.
I like it.
That's a song that my son was singing one time. I go, Charlie, do you know what you're singing? And he's kind of like paused, and he was like, oh. And I'm like, do you want to know the rest of the lyrics of that song? He's like, probably not. And I'm like, let's take a ride here. And then I tell him, I think about all of these songs that I hear as an adult, and I know all the words to them, and I go back and think about it for a second, and I'm just like, that's filthy.
I actually don't know all the lyrics to that other than the chorus. Must be pretty bad.
It's just like not what you... There's a mood to the song. But you're not thinking about it. That's the way it is with most songs. There's just
Is it like a love song and then the chorus is different? You're like, oh.
That's why you said you wanted to play it behind riding a Slinky Dog roller coaster with me.
That's true.
So we got some more people who have left some responses to our YouTube live chat poll on our voice messaging system. Here's Timothy.
Well, I believe that, if you're going to ride a roller coaster with Donald Trump and or Kamala Harris, I think Kamala Harris is going to turn into what might be called a woo girl, and she's just going to go woo all the way through it, and that might be irritating, sort of, because, well, she needs to stay out of my ear. And as long as she just says woo and doesn't open her mouth or try to make any other statements, well, then she could be okay. Donald Trump, I believe, would talk and say, well, I've done this before, and it's really perfect, but it was perfect before, and now it could be better, and we're going to work on that, and it's the best ever. And then maybe he just kind of talks all the way through it, commenting on all the way through the ride.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that was a really nice turn, or that was a really nice loop-de-loop. But, everything could have been perfect.
Where he doesn't even let the roller coaster get a word in edgewise.
I think that's a pretty good assessment.
Ethan, if you could pick to ride with Donald Trump or Kamala Harris, who would you ride a roller coaster with? What roller coaster would you pick first? Do you have a fave? Are you a roller coaster person?
I'm not huge on amusement parks because I don't like a lot of people. But
that's very honest and relatable.
But I did go to Universal last spring, and I really enjoyed the Velocicoaster. That one was really cool.
That's an intense one.
It's very intense.
Great coaster.
Worth the wait.
I've never
Long
done
wait.
Who would you like to ride the Velocicoaster with?
I feel like, I don't know. My thought is Trump, and the reason is because you see when he comes out for his rallies, he has those little like dance moves that he does. Like, It shows me he's willing to show a little bit of personality
Then he might have
there.
a little fun.
Yeah, I think that it may not be fists fully in the air, but maybe like fists partially in the air, kind of like, showing a little bit of enjoyment. And I just think it'd just be like riding with any random stranger if you're riding with Kamala Harris. I don't think it'd be anything interesting.
Yeah.
But Trump
That's
is a wild
exactly
card.
how you could describe the possibility of her presidency and currently her campaign.
Trump's a little more of a wild card, though, when it
Yeah.
comes to, the coaster. You don't know what to expect.
I'm going to choose the time traveler at Silver Dollar City.
Okay.
Just so I can get Trump to Missouri, first of all, because I would choose Trump. And the reason I would choose Trump over Harris, because I think it would be fun to do either one. But I would choose Donald Trump because I think in an environment like that, you might see the facade come down a little bit. And
get a little more.
You might get a little surprise. You might see some facial expressions you've never seen before. And he's pretty consistent. I would like to see that break a little bit.
When I ride roller coasters, I generally laugh a lot. It's kind of my reaction. There's a little bit of whooping or whatever, but we made this comment yesterday, I think it was. But I said, "Can you do you know what when Donald Trump belly laughs? Do we know what that sounds like or looks like?" And I don't know that I can't really.
I don't
picture
either.
it.
Yeah, I don't know that we've ever heard him really. The only thing I can sort of picture, and I'm not sure that we've really seen this much either, is if something really takes him off guard, if he's in an interview, and I don't know if Theo Vaughn did this, but it would be in that scenario. Something really surprises him, and it kind of catches him. That's about as much as I've ever seen him laugh.
A lot of times, in order to really get someone, you like comedy and you study comedy more than most people do, but when you really get people to laugh, there is a huge element to having to catch them off guard. You have to make them have a realization or an understanding that they didn't have until you told them that, and then you spawn this like emotional reaction that causes somebody to laugh. Like you can be sitting and seeing something and kind of chuckle or just be internally amused and realize that if you're scrolling through your phone and you see a funny meme, like you can be like, and you don't even actually physically smile. You are amused. You thought it was funny.
Yeah.
But to get somebody to get to that point where there is actual laughter, especially if you get to the part where it kind of starts to roll, you have to be willing to kind of let go of yourself and react to something like that. Donald Trump has such command over everything all of the time that, to your point, if you put him on a roller coaster and there was such a physical element to it that he would not have control. That's what is exciting about roller coasters, is you're really surrendering yourself to the ride. I think that would be amazing. Like, I'm total Team Trump. I would love to ride a roller coaster with Team Trump.
I don't know if it actually would break him, though. I mean, you'd probably see something change on his face a little bit, but I don't know how much. But that's why I would like to see. And the woo girl comment thing. See, I actually enjoy if I'm riding with somebody and they're yelling, and if it's a girl, she's that's fun.
Yeah.
That to me is the reason you ride, in a sense.
Yeah.
Like the social reason.
Michael's here with us. Michael, thank you for calling the Annie Fry Show. You wanted to react to the Kamala Harris interview. What did you think? What were your thoughts on it?
Hey, Annie, how you doing?
Doing good. Thanks for calling.
Nice to talk to you guys again. I actually liked it. I was waiting, like everyone else, for the opportunity to see her since the convention. I thought that she did a good job. And to your point earlier that I was listening about when he basically lied about his service, like I think everyone concedes to that. Like, okay, you wasn't telling the truth about it because he didn't just come out and say like it was wrong. But I really, my thing is like up to the point of the interview, I was noticing just the disdain as far as, why she hasn't had an interview in 40 days. And the issue that I had with that was that, Trump didn't even participate in the primaries. He didn't participate in any of the debates on stage.
Mm-hmm.
And none of the Republicans were frustrated or had a disdain. They were all understanding about it.
No, that's not
so
true.
It's like
there are a lot of Republicans that thought he needed to be there. There just weren't enough of them to beat him. You still there, Michael? I hear your blinker.
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah, I'm driving. I'm on 170.
Be safe. Be careful. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that when you I don't think it's a fair comparison. I think it's apples and oranges just because when Donald Trump elected to not really kind of play ball with the RNC and not show up to the debates, the thing about the RNC is they still went through the primary process without Donald Trump. And I myself was like, I wonder if it's a risk for him to not participate. It turned out to be something that he made a decision for himself along with his campaign that paid off for him. I don't think he needed to be in those debates. And it was clear that the Republican Party voters still supported Donald Trump over these other people. But the RNC didn't just say, well, Donald Trump says he's the nominee, and we're going to go with him and we're going to scrap everything else. That's really what the DNC has said when Joe Biden stepped out. I feel like it's apples and oranges. And to your point, I do think that it's worth criticizing that he didn't participate in that system, but it was a risk that he was the one who got to choose to take, and I think it paid off for him.
But in this situation with Joe Biden, the Republicans and the Democrats held him up probably. Everyone was like, yo, he's not looking too good. Right. Mm-hmm. And the Republicans was like, hey, this guy can't do it. So when the Democrats did something about that in the last minute and he ceded that and dropped down, that was an issue. That was a problem, too. I guess what I'm saying is that it seems that there's such an era of negativity and criticism that no matter what Democrats do, there's going to be a complaint. If Kamala Harris, okay, she says we're going to not tax tips. Well, doggone it, he said it first. Like, oh, if she doesn't do an interview first, it's like then she does an interview, we're going to point out everything that we find negative.
Michael, let me ask you a question. Do you feel like Kamala Harris and Joe Biden and the Democrats are being unfairly treated and there's too much negative attention to them comparative to the Republicans and Trump?
I think that they're getting more negative treatment from Republicans. I think that to bypass
the Democrats,
Trump already being,
the Democrats literally refer to Donald Trump as Hitler.
No, that was J.D. Vance who said that.
J.D. Vance also said that, and he's answered for it, but nobody would ever ask the Democrats to answer for it. They only asked J.D. Vance to do it because J.D. Vance's crime is that he became a Republican.
But I guess the thing is Donald Trump is set to be sentenced. He was found guilty. And I think that holds a big shade more than Kamala Harris, Vice President, lying about going into war with a weapon. I think that we know, like everyone who I've saw, they said, well, we know what to expect from Trump. You do know what to expect from Trump. And is it okay? Like,
no, I don't. I think, Michael, that Ethan, can I have an extra minute here so that Michael and I can finish this conversation on good terms, Michael? I think that
always.
I think what you expect from Donald Trump and what I expect from Donald Trump are they're like parallel realities. They're not the same, though.
I think as Americans, we want our representative who represents all of us to have class. We want them to have a presence of integrity. We want to have a sense that we are protected. We do agree that our borders should be secured. We do agree that, we want no inflation. We want a strong economy. We all want these things. But in the midst of this, don't we want to have someone who has a sense that doesn't resort to name calling and childish behaviors?
Tim Walz making weird the overarching thing for Democrats to call anybody who might vote Republican. Michael, I got less than a minute left.
Yeah.
I'm just saying to you that all of those things that you say you want out of a leader, I want that too. And I see that from Donald Trump. I know that you don't, and I understand that you have reasons not to. And I look at Kamala Harris and don't think that she is what would bring the safety, the security, the integrity to the Oval Office that I would like to see there. And I know that you don't see that for Trump.
Let me ask you this.
15 seconds.
When Trump continues to call her stupid and play on her intelligence, and this is a woman who risen herself up, who actually questioned Kavanaugh for the Supreme Court justice and did a thorough job of that. I find it really degrading to call her unintelligent, and stupid.
I got a hard break, Michael.
Go ahead.
I appreciate you. I got to hang up because I got to go here in 20 seconds. I don't think Kamala Harris has risen herself up throughout the course of politics in a way. Are we going to 5750? In a way that Michael is explaining. We can talk about it more on the other side. I do have to get to a hard break. I wasn't just saying that to Michael. And we appreciate our left and right callers. Some of you are just more right than the others. Just kidding, Michael. We'll be right back.
Outdoor Living Redefined, brought to you by Lakeside Renovation and Design, your trusted partner in crafting stunning decks, inviting screened rooms, and elegant porch overhangs. Imagine enjoying a crisp morning coffee on your beautifully designed deck, or hosting gatherings in a spacious screened room. Lakeside turns your vision into reality. Our skilled craftsmen use top-notch materials to create spaces that stand up to the elements and stand out in style. Elevate your lifestyle with Lakeside's outdoor living expertise. Visit our showroom or call Lakeside Renovation and Design today.
Don't miss the historic Bronze Boots Soccer Clash, Sunday, September 8th at City Park. Catch SLU and SIUE men's and women's teams as they face off in this NCAA Division I soccer doubleheader. Get your tickets now at SeatGeek.com.
Hey, it's Mark Reardon. If you're nearing retirement or already retired, call my friends Thomas Helbig and Bob Kershaw with the Retirement Advisory Group. They'll show you how linking to the market is much safer than owning the market for your retirement savings. They're the official financial advisors of my show. Go to retirementkey.com.
I was having a lot of sinus infections. My sinuses were clogged, pressure, headaches.
Linda suffered for years with chronic sinus infections.
You don't feel like doing anything. When you feel like your head is completely clogged, all you want to do is just lay down and sleep. And the pressure, it's just not fun. Always walking around with a headache.
Now, her issues are gone. How? A minimally invasive procedure done in the office of St. Louis Sinus Centers called balloon sinuplasty.
I really did not know what it was like to feel like you're really breathing and not being so clogged up. I would do it again in a heartbeat, and I would definitely recommend it for someone else.
Do you suffer with chronic sinus infections, facial pain, pressure, congestion? Find out if balloon sinuplasty is the solution for you. Set an appointment today with St. Louis Sinus Centers. Call 314-332-2885. 314-332-2885. That's 314-332-2885.
KFTK FM Florissant. From the Under Law Injury Lawyers, GetJim.com studio.
That's GetJim.com.
97.1 FM Talk. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
It's considered a must-win state for both campaigns. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. Former President Trump holding a rally today in Pennsylvania while looking ahead to next month's first debate as Vice President Harris defends reversals on issues including fracking.
She was pinned down about that last night and asked, where did you change your mind? What evidence? She basically said she now believes that you can achieve a clean energy economy without a fracking ban, but she also wants to stick to timetables on things like carbon emissions.
Fox's Jackie Heinrich at the White House. Harris campaign surrogates are about to hit the road on a cross-country bus tour for abortion rights. A U.S. Marine is reported missing in California, where he's stationed at Camp Pendleton.
Lance Corporal Bailey Cameron was last seen leaving a bar and grill in Carlsbad Village at 1:30 in the morning, Sunday, August 25th. The next day, his backpack, eyeglasses, and phone were found on the curb near an Italian restaurant close by called Vigalucci's. His mother is begging for public help. She told a local media outlet that the family could typically track each other through their phones. She last spoke to her 23-year-old son Saturday. Officials at Pendleton say local law enforcement, hospital officials, and NCIS have all been notified of his disappearance.
Fox's Jessica Rosenthal, a suspected drunken driver just making his initial court appearance in New Jersey for the crash that killed an NHL player and his brother last night. Johnny Goodrow, the leading scorer for the Columbus Blue Jackets, and his brother Matthew were struck and killed while riding bicycles near their hometown. They would have been groomsmen in their sister's wedding today. A statement from the Goodrow family calls it a very difficult period of grief, offering thanks for love and support. A judge just ordering the driver, Sean Higgins, held until at least Thursday when a detention hearing is scheduled. America is listening to Fox News.
Seems like there's more identity theft in the news every day.
Another major healthcare breach was reported today, resulting in the exposure. Now, 1 in 4 consumers have been a victim of identity.
That's because there are endless places that could accidentally expose you to identity theft, in a breach, or simply by mistake. LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points a second. If your identity is stolen, we'll fix it, guaranteed or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
Hey, checking in?
This is not just your flu shot appointment at Walgreens.
Yes.
This is getting your entire family vaccinated in one trip.
Hey, Mom?
And a snack on the way out. Get flu shots for everyone in your family, together. Schedule appointments online today. This is wellness made easy. Walgreens.
Vaccine subject to availability and for ages 3+. State and health-related restrictions may apply.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation. Weather.
Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
A couple of scattered showers and thunderstorms going through our Friday afternoon. It's still warm and humid, 92. A better shot of scattered showers and thunderstorms tonight. That's cool front coming in. Saturday, some leftover thunderstorms in the morning. Otherwise, partly sunny and cooler with a slow drop-off in humidity, 82. Sunday, sunny, 86. Monday, sunny, 79, 80. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Del Walmsley and the Wealth Cycle.
This is the wealth cycle that I've taught for 30 years. Buy one house, 10 houses, an apartment, 2 apartments, 8, 20, 500 units, 1,000 units, 2,000, 5,000 units. And as you keep putting the money and the profits back in, you become one of those rich people. And much quicker than you'd even believe.
Learn Del's Wealth Cycle at GiveMeTotalFreedom.com. Use promo code 2024. Save 60%. Code 2024. GiveMeTotalFreedom.com. GiveMeTotalFreedom.com.
Don't let a cold, sinus infection, or allergies ruin your day. Breathe easier, sleep better, and feel healthier with Navage. Visit Navage.com, Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, or a store near you.
Attention, Missouri residents in need of care at home. If you have Medicaid and need assistance with daily activities, you can receive free in-home care from a loved one, funded by Medicaid with no cost to you. Freedom Care, Missouri's #1 home care provider, gives you the power to choose who provides your care, and they get paid instantly. Imagine your daughter, son, a close relative, or trusted friend helping you with cooking, transportation, laundry, and other activities in your own home. You get the help you need, and your caregiver gets paid instantly after their shift. Freedom Care has over 5,000 five-star Google reviews and is #1 in Missouri for in-home care. If you have Medicaid and want great care from a loved one that's 100% free to you, go to freedomcare.com or call 314-557-3027. That's 314-557-3027. 314-557-3027.
Join us for Midwest WINGFEST in Fairview Heights this weekend. Wings, drinks, and music, all to benefit combat wounded soldiers. A huge variety of food and music. It's all in Fairview Heights. Info at MidwestWingFest.com.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what you're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
All right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Fry Show.
So we had the Kamala Harris interview yesterday, and we've been talking about that in the Tim Walz, I don't know. Like, I still don't understand. There wasn't an obvious reason why they wanted to do this together.
The only logical reason for them to do this together is that they thought she would not be able to handle it very well, and that he would be able to take some of the oxygen out of the 20-something minutes. Which he did.
That's what I challenged earlier. I don't think that's the reason. I think they did it for his benefit.
I don't know if that backfired or not, because he didn't seem to really answer anything.
I think that she did what she does, and Tim Walz's questions were mostly liabilities. He did get the opportunity to talk about his son, and as they talked about 2 moments in this Kamala Harris interview, Harris-Walz interview, like kind of iconic or whatever moments. And I hadn't seen the first one, which was this image of Kamala Harris on the stage giving her speech. In the background And in the foreground was the back of a little girl's head. It was one of Kamala Harris's nieces, and she's got her hair up in these really adorable, cute pigtail braids. And it's just the little girl in the foreground and Kamala Harris in the background. Very cool picture. I respect the moment that was. And that's how they wrapped it up. And I just thought to myself, okay, you get Kamala Harris and Tim Walz for the first interview of their campaign. They speak for 28 minutes, and they spent 4 minutes of it, give or take, on a super softball question, and then that's how they wrapped everything up. I don't think that Dana Bash was completely and totally soft on him. She did ask some hard questions, but I will tell you this, it's not compassionate when you ask tough questions. If there are tough questions that are out there, you can say, I've addressed this. I answered this question when I was speaking on CNN to Dana Bash, and you can kind of let that speak for yourself. And if you do that in an environment deemed to be safe, then you can say, I've addressed this and we're moving on or whatever. You can point back to that safe interview where you ask the question, which, one of the things that she did do was kind of push on the fracking portion of where she said prior to that she would ban fracking. Dana asked her about that.
Do you still want to ban fracking?
No, and I made that clear on the debate stage in 2020 that I would not ban fracking. As vice president, I did not ban fracking. As president, I will not ban fracking.
In 2019, I believe, at a town hall, you said you were asked, would you commit to implementing a federal ban on fracking on your first day in office? And you said, there's no question I'm in favor of banning fracking. So yes. So it changed in that campaign?
In 2020, I made very clear where I stand. We are in 2024, and I've not changed that position, nor will I going forward. I kept my word, and I will keep my word.
She says that she's been very clear, but by virtue of Dana Bash doubling down on the question on CNN, maybe you haven't been clear enough.
Yeah, I've been very clear and consistent on this. I think that's literally the opposite of what you've been. You've changed your position, which if that's what it is, you just say, no, I changed my mind.
And in addition to all of this, if you have said that you support every side of an issue, you can always say that you've said that you've supported that side of the issue for some time.
Yeah.
If you're out there, and that's the point that Dana is asking her, and she did press a little bit, probably so she could have the integrity to say, oh no, I followed up on her 2 or 3 times, whatever. But she didn't get the answer. You didn't pin her down on saying, I used to believe A, now I believe B, and I'm asking you to believe me when I say that I'm still at B. When she goes on to say later that her values haven't changed, and it's kind of a broad comment, but I mean it. I don't know what Kamala Harris's values are. Her values are whatever they need to be in the moment. And that is by virtue of not being in front of a camera or a microphone to repeatedly be on record with where she is on things, that tells me that her values are fungible and they're pliable. And that would concern me if I was somebody on the left that was really opposed to fracking. And that's why she had my support prior to. And now all of a sudden she's for it. What changed? And that was the question Dana asked that she did not answer.
And that can happen. It is possible as a politician to be, especially if you're in politics long enough, to say, you know what, I've actually changed my position on this. It happens. The problem is, if you don't really have the spine, and I don't mean that to be like, you don't have the guts, but if you don't have the kind of skeletal beliefs that you start with, yes, some things can change. But if you look at Donald Trump, that guy's been saying a lot of the same stuff since the 80s on TV interviews, and it wasn't even the popular talking points. And he has actually stuck with those things, and we've seen him put them into practice.
You could absolutely have an event happen to you in life that makes you go, well, I used to think this, but now X, Y, Z. And I've learned from that. And so my position is ABC. And I think most people would understand that. At least that you have lived, and because you have lived, you've experienced, and because you've experienced, you've learned. But that's not what she tells us. All right, you guys ready to do a little Ask Us Anything?
Yep.
Okay. The first question that I have here is from Nope, Kate. Kate said, how did you meet your spouse?
Oh,
You
wow.
first.
Yeah. So this was so we were in a motorcycle gang, and
Shut up.
this you know what's funny? This is the actual story that I tell.
Yes?
It's totally false, but I tell the motorcycle gang story pretty often, and it's mostly
Tell the real one.
Okay, the real one is that we had a mutual friend. I think I may have told this one too. The real one. We had a mutual friend, and I liked the friend. And so I would go to visit the friend in Columbia, Missouri when we were all in college. They were going to Mizzou. I was here going to, I think, SIUE at the time.
You think?
Well, I also went to C. And so
Okay.
I think part of that I was driving from Carbondale and part from Edwardsville. But I would go to visit the other friend because I liked her.
Mm-hmm.
And in the process, met Katie. And then we didn't really care about each other at the beginning at all. Eventually, we just really hit it off. And then we've kind of been halfway together ever since until we got married. We were kind of on and off dating. We were long
Define
distance.
halfway.
Yeah, we were
Halfway
long
together
distance dating for a
Ever
long
since.
time. Yeah.
You're all the way together now.
We're together since 2007
The
for
marriage.
sure. Yeah. Yeah.
Ethan, you and your spouse, can you talk about that?
Yeah, so we met at Lindenwood, where we both went to school, and actually we were both RAs, and she was actually
I was an RA.
she was my boss.
Whoa.
So I actually got a lot of clout and a lot of credit from all the little baby freshmen on my floor for dating my boss.
Were you allowed to do that? Like, was that out in the open?
Yes, because she was still a student. She was just like the student boss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This
She was the student boss.
sounds like an asterisk.
So it was that, but then simultaneously, we come to find out that she's an athletic trainer at the school at the time.
Mhm.
I'm getting into broadcasting. So very shortly after we had just met each other, we're all of a sudden now like on road trips, traveling with the team, like going to all these cool places around the Midwest.
Yeah.
Working with the Lindenwood football team. So not technically how we met, but kind of a unique, I guess, beginning of the relationship.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
My husband and I, we had younger brothers who played on a baseball team together, and it was kind of at the start of when select baseball was a little more selective. It's nothing compared to what it is now. I mean, it wasn't like it is now where everybody's 10 and preparing for their first major league contract. But our brothers played on this baseball team together, and I played sports, including softball. He played sports, including baseball. So we were never really at the games at the same time. I would go to the games probably when I had to, but I would go watch him play. I knew his family. I knew pretty much all of his family, but I didn't know him. And then there was one time it was right after my freshman year of college. So I was like all through high school. Might have been I don't even know if I was even in grade school when they started this team. I think they played maybe 4 seasons, maybe more together. And I met him. I was going to Wild Country in Collinsville to meet a friend, and his friend brought him to Wild Country, and that was the first time I met him. And I remember immediately being interested in him on just like, you know how like you identify people when you're in the dating world. You're like, I'd date that person.
Yeah, you're like,
attracted
I'm
to
not
him.
going to cross them off the list. You don't know.
Yeah.
But you're like, yeah, maybe.
Or you see someone and you can tell when you're immediately attracted to somebody.
Yeah.
And I was attracted to him, and we were friends for like a year before we ever even started dating. But I do remember the first time I met him, I remember thinking that I was attracted to him, and I can't really think of that. It's a weird thing. You've talked before about how you feel in your relationship with your wife that God flipped a switch. It was like, okay, this is a thing now. I remember meeting him and thinking like there was something different about meeting him than there. Isn't it? It's weird to randomly meet somebody for the first time and remember that. And I remember that with him. And I've told him that story, and I'm like, do you remember that? He's like, no. And I'm like, oh, come on.
True love.
I know. It took a long time where we were friends.
Yeah, my wife remembers the first time we met too, and I remember around then. I don't remember the specific day or anything, but
I remember where we were standing in Wild Country.
no kidding.
I remember the specifics, but I guess it was a little bit more recently, so maybe I have that benefit as well.
I don't think it was special to my husband.
Well, it wasn't special to either one of me or Katie either.
Yeah.
It was just that she was just there doing normal things,
Yeah.
and I was playing leapfrog on a sidewalk with two other guys in Colombia after probably being at a bar, and one of the guys wasn't wearing underwear, and his pants were just kind of sagging. That's why she remembers it.
Sometimes I'm trying to, do this radio show and have a conversation, but I also have to tee up the next thing. So I start half paying attention to what Ryan says. And then when I dip back in, I'm like, I can't continue this conversation.
He
I
was
don't know what
wearing
happened.
pants.
I
Wait,
know.
so-
I would need to go. I need to
But he had
rewind.
plumber's crack,
Oh, my.
and that's why she remembers it, is because we were playing leapfrog and the one guy had plumber's crack. So it's not like it wasn't a significant event in her life, but she does remember it.
So my point of view of it was that Ike wasn't, Ryan does this thing where sometimes he doesn't always tell the truth, but he kind of like acts like he is. And
He's more convicted when he's full of crap.
yeah, exactly. And I thought that this was one of those times
No.
because of the topic.
Yeah.
It turns out that it was actually serious. So,
Yeah.
he threw me
Usually
for
by
one
the
there.
end you can tell.
Yeah.
Usually.
Sometimes you don't know.
Sometimes you don't either.
Yeah, it's a mystery. I'm an enigma.
I don't think that when I say my husband doesn't remember that, I think that this is kind of the difference between men and women, just generally speaking. I didn't see him and go, that's going to be my husband, because if I said that to him, he would like question me now.
Yeah.
It's far into it. But I remember meeting him and thinking that there was something special about that moment. And then, I went on the rest of the night, we danced the night away, whatever. I wasn't there with him, but it wasn't that moment for him. He dated other people before he dated me. It's not like it was. So, all right. We're going to answer more of your questions when we come back. A little Ask Us Anything. Would this be like mountain time from normal?
Yeah.
If you want to, it would be Eastern.
That's what I
225
meant.
is 120.
That's what I meant.
Yeah. If you want to ask us questions, get on the Andy Fry YouTube channel, and you can comment them there, and we would be happy to include them in our conversation. A lot of people answering the YouTube live chat poll, who would you rather ride a roller coaster with, Donald Trump or Kamala Harris? People also commenting on here which of us they would like to ride with. Most people, I think, want to ride with you, Ryan.
Yay, I'm fun.
Blues fan said, that's a tough one. With Trump, you'd have to hear about how he invested in the first roller coaster company, and he basically came up with the idea. With Kamala, it would be the constant cackle.
That's great.
Which is
he
possibly
invested in a roller coaster
I
and invented
the
it.
roller coaster.
Yeah.
Let us know what you think, and leave us your Ask Us Anything questions. We'll be right back.
With my two-fist divine, but I'm going nowhere. Oh, yeah, I'm the type of guy that likes to roam around. I'm never in one place. I roam from town to town. And when I
MidwestWingFest.com. Have you gone to the website to secure your tickets for tonight and tomorrow at this incredible event that is put together essentially to benefit combat wounded soldiers and the families of local fallen heroes. This is a local event that helps local people, and you are going to have the greatest time. It's tonight and tomorrow in Fairview Heights at St. Clair Square by Dillard's. You get in for $5. Anybody 12 and older, kids get in free. 12 and older, it's $5 to enter, and you can upgrade your ticket to a VIP ticket, which will be well worth the spend. Of course, it goes to a great cause, but with that VIP ticket, you get unlimited chicken wings from Dandy Inn, beer from Chick Fritz distributors, and you get private restroom access as well. If you are interested in the tickets or learning more, or just generally making a donation because you know how important and great of a cause that Midwest Wingfest is, maybe you can't make it, you go online and you can secure your tickets there and learn all about the events that will be taking place over the next 48 hours. Go to Midwest Wingfest. Let me know how you loved it online at MidwestWingFest.com.
Summer is here, which means pool days, beach trips, and yeah, you guessed it, traffic jams. Oh yeah, and heat waves. Don't let summer catch you by surprise. Get the local news you need, no matter what you're up to, with the free Odyssey app. And never miss a beat with alerts on breaking stories sent directly to your phone. Listen today on the free Odyssey app. That's AUDACY.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm. If you own a timeshare, don't miss this public service announcement from Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group.
If you receive an unsolicited phone call or mail piece to discuss selling, renting, or especially canceling your timeshare, don't fall for it. If you really want out of your timeshare, hang the phone up immediately or throw that mail piece in the trash and contact your timeshare resort or Wesley Financial Group for assistance with your timeshare. As the only Inc. 500 timeshare cancellation company, our knowledge, experience, and results has made Wesley a trusted resource for over 40,000 families we've helped get out of their timeshare. Give us a call, and I'll send you our timeshare exit information kit free with the straight facts about your timeshare and all of your options for cancellation.
Call for your free info kit, 800-513-4444. 800-513-4444. 800-513-4444.
You've been listening to the very popular Wellness One for many years, Saturdays and Sundays on 97.1 FM Talk. We're happy to share that we've expanded the show to 4 times a week. Yes, 4 times every weekend. Saturday at 10 a.m., Saturday at 8 p.m., Sunday at 9 a.m., and Sunday at 2 p.m. It's the same great show designed to cut through the nonsense and provide you a common sense, science-based strategy for a healthy life. So join TJ and Aaron for Wellness One. Now 4 times a week on 97.1 FM Talk.
I'm Brian Westbrook with Coalition Life. While we celebrate the reversal of Roe v. Wade, there is still much work to be done to support life and pregnant women before they cross state lines. Together, we can provide the love, support, and options that women need to choose life for their children. Coalition Life celebrates more than 3,500 clients served and thousands of lives saved since we began this mission with you. Each one is a miracle. Over the years, day in and day out, our team has walked alongside women facing the fear and challenges of an unexpected pregnancy. Through the support of this community, we have given them hope and a path to choose life for the children they carry. Visit coalitionlife.com to give your vital support while reducing or completely eliminating your state taxes through Missouri's 70% tax credit. Learn more at coalitionlife.com, coalitionlife.com.
You're listening to the Annie Fry Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation Studio. For a limited time, save $55 off a new water heater. Air Comfort Service not only installs attic insulation and HVAC systems, they also install water heaters. For a free estimate, visit aircomfortservice.com.
Odyssey is your home for all the audio that matters to you. Download the Odyssey app today to listen to 97.1 FM Talk, even when you don't have a radio. Always streaming at 971talk.com. This is the Annie Fry Show.
Last night's interview with Kamala Harris was a joke. Take a look at the tone of that interview and with Dana Bash, then go back and take a look at the interview that Dana Bash did with J.D. Vance, and you'll see there's 2 different tones. J.D. got a beating, Kamala got a feather.
So that is one of the responses that we got on the app. If you have downloaded the Odyssey app, AUDACY, they're really pushing us to use these. And we are. And, well, I'm very suspect of, like, we've got this new tool, you got to use it. But if you reach out to us through this and it's a good clip, we're going to use it.
And that was George from Evansville.
George, Evansville,
Indiana.
Heyo.
No kidding. All right.
Thanks,
Listening
George.
on the app.
On the app. And I do know a lot of people who will stream us. Sometimes it's because if you're on the outskirts, you don't get the station as well. Man, Illinois, if I'm driving to a sporting event or something and it's a little bit of a travel, I've gone out to Carlisle Lake even. And we come in really strong all the way out there, but sometimes it depends on the radio, whatever.
Yeah, it depends on the day sometimes
Litchfield,
too.
I've gone north of Litchfield on the way to Springfield before, and we come in strong there too. So definitely we go a lot farther east than I think people realize. But in Missouri, very strong signal in some places, not always in others. The Odyssey app is a great way to hook us up to the Bluetooth in your car if you've got that. And you can find 97.1 FM Talk and take us with you anywhere you go. And when you go to click play, there's a microphone right by the play button of the 97.1 FM Talk.
Yeah, right next to Listen Live, there's a microphone button. You hit that button, it will record you saying whatever is on your mind about topics we're talking about or about the show in general. You can either keep that message or discard it and try it again, or maybe you try it a couple times and you're like, I'm an idiot. You can just discard the whole thing. But what we'd like to do...
Is that what you say after the show's over?
Yeah, at 3 o'clock every day.
Discard the whole thing.
I just go in the bathroom. I'm an idiot. Why did I do this?
Why do you go to the bathroom?
Because I'm looking in the mirror.
Are you nervous?
I'm pointing at myself.
IBS.
And IBS. Yeah.
In no particular order.
Yeah, just whichever one strikes first.
Wiggins, have you used it yet? Have you talked to anyone through it?
Well, I think when we were first getting it, we were just kind of messing around with it and trying it. And so it's funny because some of the original ones are like Mark Reardon going, hey, this is not Mark Reardon calling in for the Mark Reardon show, you know, like some of the really old ones. But yeah, if you do that, those will come into our feed. We can listen to them, see if they fit the topic. Because, I mean, you can literally say anything you want, but if it's something we're not talking about today, it's probably not as likely to get played.
So when I open the Odyssey app on my phone, AUDACY, if I click the little search button, you can type in 97.1 FM Talk. It tells you stations near you, and 97.1 FM Talk is right there. And there's just a listen now orange button, and then right next to it is a circle with a microphone. That's how you pull it up. But my understanding is also that you can pull up the Annie Fry Show as well and subscribe to podcasts through this app. So if you're not a podcaster, but you've kind of been curious about it, this is an easy way to do it. You can also go to AnnieFryShow.com, F-R-E-Y, AnnieFryShow.com, and I have a playlist up there that pulls from the same source as this, so you can just listen to whatever you missed.
Yeah, it's just like when you were in college. If you're curious, just give it a try. Ask me anything?
I don't really want to know anything more about you. Here we are with 30 minutes to go, and I want to plug my ears.
I'm just trying to tell people to download the app. I don't know if you got something else from that, then that's on you.
This is a me thing.
Yeah, it's a you thing or a listener thing. Like, if you were listening and you thought that was weird, that's because you put implications on it that I did not intend.
Ridiculous. Go. Take charge.
All right. Ask me anything. Some questions
productive
from listeners. Here we go. The first one is, if your life had a theme song that played every time you entered a room, what would it be? Is there anything that jumps out at you?
Probably the theme song to this show.
That makes perfect sense. But which one? Is it America's Sweetheart? Is it Come On, Turn the Radio On? Because if I hear those out in the wild.
You think about me?
I do. I think about the show.
I like that you said show.
Yeah.
I'd probably say America's Sweetheart. I mean, I love that song. The interesting thing about that song, it's by Elle King, who sings, I love her. She sings such great songs. I got this show in the summer of 2016 and had done 2 years of Sunday night shows with Mark Cox, just kind of hanging out, filled in for him a couple of times. And it was coming time to, like, what do we name the show? And we came up with some non-Annie Fry Show ideas, and our program director was like, I think it should just be the Annie Fry Show. He was really stuck on that.
Okay.
Probably a good move. He's a smart man. But I was, do I want to have a theme song? Not everybody has a theme song. And I think I was on Spotify, and I just, like, typed in America.
Really?
And that song came up, and I started listening to it, and I'm like, this song could be about me. This is crazy. And I don't want to be America's Sweetheart or whatever, but, we all have our things.
Job.
I know. There's not room for two of us in the room.
Yeah.
Will you please re-record a song that is I Am America's Sweetheart?
I am America's Sweetheart.
But it's just about you.
But it's just me.
Yeah.
In a wig. Nice dress.
You could just be you.
That is me being me.
That's what I would say. America's Sweetheart. What about you?
Mine would be, there's a variety of choices now. I don't know if you have me pulled up, but I played the song because if I just say it, people will maybe, if you're alive in the 70s, you probably know the song, but I'm going to play it just so that we can get an idea. It's called Hocus Pocus by the band Focus.
Do you just like it because it all rhymes?
No, I like it because of this.
What, is this punk yodel?
Yeah. It's classic rock from the Norwegian states.
I know you guys tuned in to hear hard-hitting music, and we just wanted to play for you a few clips from the Kamala Harris-Dana Bash interview. Hope you enjoyed it.
I got to tell Mark Cox to put that one in the playlist. That's right in his ear.
No, you don't. No, you don't. You need to sneak it into the playlist.
Ooh, that's even a better idea.
Yeah, I know.
I'll just talk
That's
to
what I'm
Carl.
here for.
Carl,
Yes.
make it happen.
You should pick the music for that show because Carl picks the music for this show.
That would be fun, but I'd have to get up very early, and I'm not going to do that.
Just do it really late.
Okay.
It's all about perspective.
I will.
Ethan, you have a walk in, walk up, walk out song?
Yeah, before that, I thought that you were going to...
Does it have yodels?
No, it does not. I thought you were going to pick your own version of America's Sweetheart.
No.
Because I really like that rendition of it.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty good. Mine would be probably the second half of Freebird. Just the second half.
Yeah?
Yeah, where the guitar riff picks up
It's a
and
good
then
one.
just goes for like 6 minutes or
Can't
whatever.
really mess up with Freebird. All right, next question.
Next question. Let's
That's what
see
we should
here.
call this segment.
Next question.
Yes.
I like it.
And now we need a sponsor. Anybody want to sponsor it? AndyFryShow.com. Contact me.
Okay, Chris asks.
I'm going to need you to re-image this segment. Thanks. Next question, please.
You're welcome. If you had to eat only one food for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Ooh.
This is a tough question.
Greek yogurt.
Ooh, that's pretty
good. What's the mindset behind that?
It's healthy, and I like it, and it serves a lot of purposes. It's very protein-based.
Dang it, that's a good
This
answer.
is a much more difficult question than it seems on the surface because you have to
Should it have
consider...
been like ice cream?
Right, you have to consider health, but you have to also consider taste. Like
You know, I almost think you don't consider taste because after
It's
5
not- yeah,
months of
you're not
it,
gonna care.
you're going to be
doesn't
tired
matter.
of it no matter what it is.
I think Greek yogurt is my superfood, so I think I would pick that.
You don't have to eat a lot of yogurt to feel filled up, probably, though.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
I
but
don't
it's
want to
got
eat
a lot of
red.
protein.
I don't want to eat red meat all the time. Maybe eggs. You can do a lot.
You can
with
do
eggs.
a lot with eggs. You can do a
eat
lot with
ways.
potatoes too, but I don't know that they're going to give you everything you need.
Yeah, I'm going Greek yogurt.
Oh, I was going to do some sort of a vegetable that's high in
Cheez-Its?
protein. Yeah, some sort of gummy bear or
How was your
worm.
oatmeal cream pie?
It was fine. It was small,
Do you want another one?
I guess. Since you asked, it wasn't one of the big ones.
Did we answer the question?
It wouldn't be oatmeal cream pies.
I have a box of oatmeal cream pies in my desk, like you have treats for a dog. And Ryan is the only person who eats them. And I just basically give them to him when he's being a good boy.
I didn't know they were in your desk.
Yes, they are.
Those things are going to be gone by Tuesday.
I'm surprised they're still here. Remember when
I am too because I didn't know they were there.
Do you remember when I offered them to your son?
No.
And he couldn't have them because they had something in
Oh,
them?
they had a peanut ingredient in
They've
them.
been in there since then.
Really?
Yes.
This is on me, really. It's my fault for not rooting through your desk.
No, I literally have them like you give treats to a good pet.
I'm a good boy.
Well, today, but then you just insulted them, so I bought that box of oatmeal cream pies for you.
Wow.
Thank you.
So that I could encourage you in a positive way that you would understand.
My parents went one step above that, and they got me.
Well, they made you, so give me a break.
They went to the Little Debbie store in Roxana, and they
Yes.
got me a box of double-decker
Yeah.
commercial ones, like
Uh-huh.
not the home
The ones that are
box,
sold
the ones
individually?
that are sold individually.
Yeah.
And they're 3 cookies with cream in between the 2. It's a bit much.
Do you remember when I went to the Little Debbie store in Roxana, which you
remember
guys
this.
should all go to?
Yes.
They're not paying us in any way, shape, or
We
form
just
to
like
say
it.
this. You will not believe that this place exists, and then you will feel like you've discovered something.
Yep.
I
make special trips there.
I filled my drawer full of Little Debbie things for you.
They're all gone.
I know you ate them all.
I didn't know that you had restocked with 1 box. That box will soon be gone also.
Yes, I understand.
Ryan, would you ever dress up as Little Debbie for Halloween?
I think I probably have. I think when I was 10, I might have been Little Debbie. Let's track down those pictures.
Have you seen the skit, or the segment, I should say, on The Tonight Show where Will Ferrell dresses up as Little Debbie?
No.
You need to go and watch that after the show, because it is very good. But I see that. I can see you fitting that rendition.
I've been called Little Debbie for a long amount of my life.
Why?
Because my mom's name is Debbie and I look like her.
Oh, yeah?
Yes.
When I was 10, if I did dress up as Little Debbie for Halloween, we should do it again and have two pictures side by side. Little Debbie and Big Deborah. And I don't wear a belly shirt.
No.
Yeah.
Next question.
I got to get something out of that. Next question after the food question is, if you had to choose one animal to be your personal bodyguard, which would it be?
Is there any concern about the animal attacking you and turning on you?
I think
it's really open to interpretation.
Yeah. A really good dog. How do you not pick a really good dog?
I would pick a white tiger, and I would talk in a German accent, and I would do just a little bit of magic. Not a lot.
Why is
but
the
a little
tiger
bit.
white? That's what I want to know.
He's thinking, is it David Copperfield?
No.
That's the
You're
other
close, though. Siegfried and Roy.
one. Siegfried.
Yeah. I think one of them is actually killed by that tiger, though.
I think that you have a little too much faith. And you've been a little too swept away.
What kind of lifestyle do you have to lead?
I love that we had to explain that to Ethan.
Yeah.
Because the reference was so specific and for older people.
I still got nothing.
I know. Google Siegfried and Roy. Did the tiger eat one of them?
I think so.
And this is your choice?
Well, the other one was fine.
Do you have a bunch of oatmeal cream pies in your pockets?
No, you can't. That's a rookie mistake.
Maybe that's what happened.
You cannot do that with a white tiger. Roy was like, uh-oh, I forgot.
Yeah, classic mistake. Gets him every time.
The oatmeal pies. Oh, no.
Ethan's looking at you like you're the dumbest person he knows.
They were German. They were Siegfried and
common
Roy.
thing.
What was the question? You got to pick a dog.
Personal bodyguard animal. You're picking a dog?
I'm picking like a German Shepherd, whatever the
Like a
dog.
Lhasa Apso?
Like a K9 type of dog, and paying the bazillions of dollars to train it. And
Okay.
that's the way to go. Those
Okay.
dogs are amazing.
Besides that, I mean, if you're concerned about, your own safety, I mean, the dog is the only thing to go with. But the immediate thought that I had was like, what was a grizzly bear or something like that. But
But you're like, how
Those
do you get the
cost
leash on
more
them?
to train. I don't think you got that kind of money.
Next question.
Next question. Does pineapple belong on pizza?
Yes.
Mike asks.
Doesn't have to belong on all the pieces, but a good Canadian ham and pineapple, Canadian bacon, I guess, is what they call the ham. I don't know why they call it that. It's kind of a lie. And pineapple, that's good.
the Italians would spit on you.
I'd spit on them. There you go.
Fair enough.
Yeah, it's getting pretty nasty. Out of Little
It's
Caesars.
a lot of spitting. Or I think Papa John's has a barbecue Hawaiian chicken
Thing going
sandwich.
on.
Or
You know what?
sandwich pizza.
If they don't, somebody does.
I got no problem with it. What about you guys?
I never order it, ever. If it's there and it's the only thing left, I'm like, oh, okay. And I eat it, and I'm fine with it.
I enjoy like a piece of it. If I could eat.
Yeah.
If I'm like super hungry, I'm a 2-piece of pizza person. I take a third and think I should eat this, and I'm like, I'm not hungry for this. I stop. But I don't need more than one piece of pineapple pizza. But if there's like a spread, I might take one of those and then stick with the sausage and pepperoni or whatever.
It just kind of feels wrong.
That's why it's
to
so
go
right.
for it.
What do you think, though, about dessert pizza then?
Oh, yeah.
Also wrong? Because you're going all in with dessert pizza.
No, because dessert pizza has entirely separate ingredients. Pineapple pizza, you are literally...
You're just adding it to a real pizza.
To a real pizza,
Unless
yes.
you get that barbecue chicken one where the sauce is barbecue.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, I think we're all okay with it then, although not preferred.
Are there more questions?
I
or-
would say there's maybe one.
Okay. Well, if you give us a really good one over the break on the Annie Fry YouTube channel, you can drop your questions for us, ask us anything on the Annie Fry YouTube channel. But when we come back, the ultimate answer to the most important question asked this week, who would you rather ride a roller coaster with, Donald Trump or Kamala Harris? You can leave your vote and your comment on the Annie Fry YouTube channel as well. And we'll get to those results when we come back. Don't go away.
You're listening to The Annie Fry Show. Find the podcast, on-demand audio, and more at 971talk.com/Annie.
Reason number 52 to choose Diamonds Direct over any other jeweler. Only Diamonds Direct gives you a 110% diamond upgrade guarantee. Let us explain. If you buy a diamond at Diamonds Direct today and decide in the future you want to upgrade to a larger diamond, Diamonds Direct will give you 110% of your original purchase price toward the new stone. For example, let's say you bought her a $5,000 diamond last year, but now she wants to upgrade to a $6,000 diamond. Diamonds Direct will give you $5,500 toward the new one. That's 10% more than you paid the first time. Guaranteed appreciation. Whether that first diamond was $3,000 or $30,000, you get 10% more. Who else does this? And unlike other stores who claim to offer diamond upgrades, at Diamonds Direct, there's no fine print and no minimum purchase requirement. It's 10% more, period. Come and discover real value and buy with confidence. Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion.
If you're considering new windows, there's nowhere else to go but Window World. Mark Cox here. My friends at Window World are doing something now they've never done before. That is offering up to 36 months interest-free financing for your purchase. So you get the great windows put in now, you get the energy efficiency, the great look, and then you have 36 months to pay for it. How about that? Window World has been around for a long time, and their reputation speaks for itself. They are highly rated in the Better Business Bureau and all of the rating agencies. They're big supporters of our St. Louis Blues. And here's the thing. If you mention you heard this on the Mark Cox Morning Show in 97.1, you're going to be entered in a drawing for 4 Blues tickets during the upcoming season. And that's great. They're going to pick a winner every month, and good luck to you. If you need new windows, I'm telling you, Window World is the way to go. 314-993-1800. That's 993-1800 or windowworldstlouis.com.
If you're thinking of selling your home, I'm sure there are 2 things you want: certainty and the most money, right? Hi, it's Mark Cox, and if you've been listening to me for some time, you know the only agent I trust is Gloria Liu with Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty, St. Louis real estate expert. Here's why she should be your first and only call when looking for an agent. Gloria doesn't make empty promises. No, she provides written guarantees. Now, what does this mean for you? Certainty. Now, certainty isn't the only thing you want. You also want the most money. Gloria is able to get her home sellers more money than the average agent because she already has the buyers. This is why Gloria will guarantee to sell your home at your agreed upon price, or she'll buy it. To get your guaranteed price, call St. Louis real estate expert Gloria Liu at 314-325-6888. That's 314-325-6888. Or visit GloriaHasTheBuyers.com. That's GloriaHasTheBuyers.com.
Conditions apply. Gloria and seller must agree on price and possession date.
The Social Security Trust Fund could run out of money in less than 10 years. Discover why this could change when you file for your benefits on Your Retirement Professors, Sunday evening at 6 on KFTK. 97.1 FM Talk.
Hey guys, Glover here with my very, very good friend, Dr. Kathy Maupin at BioBalanceHealth.com. If you have reached that certain age and you're just not feeling very well and nothing's working the way it used to work, go see Dr. Kathy. She is not only a medical doctor, she is a patient of this bioidentical hormone replacement therapy. It absolutely works. It's a long-term solution. She is an artist when it comes to helping you with your hormones. BioBalanceHealth.com for Dr. Kathy Maupin.
So today's YouTube live chat poll is, which of the presidential candidates would you most like to ride a roller coaster with, Trump or Harris? And surprise, whoever wins this poll is not bound to do that with you. Let us know on the YouTube live chat poll which candidate you'd like to ride a roller coaster with. 246. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
The Reardon Roundtable is coming up here at 3 o'clock. We're set to go with Jane Duker. Former State Senator Jeff Smith will be here. Current State Senator Nick Schroer. I think we'll talk about Kamala and her sit-down interview, the tough interview she did with Dana Bash last night, and a whole lot more. It's all coming up after Fox News.
This is the Annie Fry Show. Interact with Annie on Facebook. The Annie Fry Show.
Ain't nothing like a bird in blue to tickle my fear today. Work to sway, accentuate my lips. Oh dear, it's my very first kiss to call upon the sermon today. Yes, to call upon.
Welcome back to the Annie Fry Show. If you were to say, here, we're got a little hangover, ask us anything, next question, which is what we're calling it now, as of 15 minutes ago.
Next question.
Next question, please. What's your favorite era of music? If you could only listen to one decade, I'll say, of music, do you have an obvious choice for you?
Well, the problem is that I like a lot of late 60s and early 70s, which spans 2 decades. So because it's over the span of 2, I would actually choose the 90s.
I'm annoyed
I
that
don't understand
I'm
you.
annoyed that I get it.
I don't.
It's because he doesn't like the 60s as a whole or the 70s as a whole more than he would like the whole of the 90s.
Okay, I thought you were saying the
but I'm not a huge
60s and 70s in its entirety, so that makes
Yes.
sense. Okay.
90s music.
What
But I'm
about
not
you?
a huge fan of the band Hole from the 90s. Ethan?
Probably.
You're so happy with yourself right now. You're so proud. You're so
Give me an oatmeal
amused.
pie. I'm a
Yeah, I
good
was
boy.
like, where's it at?
I don't-
Did you get one during the break?
This is not
No.
This is not affirmative.
Shoot. I would probably say 2010, like pop trending
Mhm.
music, just because that's what I grew up with.
That's childhood for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm 90s. Same reason. Unfortunately, it's 20 years earlier than yours.
Mm.
You want to ask the last few from the listeners that we were going to highlight?
Sure, here we go. From Bobo. Would you rather have to always walk backward or always speak in rhyme?
Speak in rhyme. I don't want to walk backwards.
You don't want to walk backward either. That'd be annoying.
It'd be pretty entertaining to speak in rhyme.
All the time?
I'm not.
Thank you.
It would be entertaining for others, I feel like.
It
No?
would make me feel smothered.
Yeah. I wouldn't. You know who would not like is my brother, Nick.
Don't be a jerk.
I'm like looking back and
look
forth,
at
like,
twerk.
I
I'm
don't
gonna
know what to
twerk.
say to add
No,
to it.
can't say that word. No, can't say that word.
Don't be a jerk. Unless you're at work. I'm basically Eminem. Like, I'm so good at this.
You're basically the candy.
You have one thing in
M&M.
common with Eminem.
You were made of
One thing.
cheap chocolate.
One thing.
Platinum records? I can't think of anything else.
Next question.
Next question. What would your spouse or someone close to you say is your weirdest habit?
I know. I have a definitive answer to this.
Okay.
Do you have one?
I have one for her.
You can't do that. That's not your right to say that on the air.
Okay, well then I'll keep thinking. You tell yours.
If you said her weirdest habit on the air and she heard that you would expose that, how would she feel?
Okay, because we just talked about it yesterday.
Did you talk about talking about it on the air?
No.
That is the pivotal part.
No.
You can't have conversations with your spouse yesterday and be like, we just talked about it. I'm sure St. Louis would love to hear it and she'd be fine with that.
I'll keep thinking then. What's yours?
This is super weird. I've like tried to come up with things to Google this to see like, okay, what's the condition that this is, obviously there are other people who have this concern, but I have yet to find another person who has ever had this thing that I have. Now, I've talked before about the misophonia. If you've heard of misophonia, where you have a visceral reaction to the sound of other people eating, chewing, crunching. I can't handle it. As long as I can remember, I cannot, I become irrationally, internally enraged with that sound. And I have since, I remember where I was when I first read about this as a condition, like a psychological condition is misophonia. I was reading it in bed at a house that we don't live in right now. It was the one we had before.
You were in, oh, never mind.
Thank you. So,
You're in bed at a house we don't live in.
Right. It was my house, and we sold that house, and now we live in a different house. So when I realized that was a condition, the misophonia thing was a condition that actually a lot of people have, I felt so relieved because the emotional reaction that I have to listening to people eat is so ridiculously strong. I didn't understand it, and now I come to find not everybody else, lots of other people have this. Now, this other thing I've tried to find that other people have, and I've never heard of anyone else having it, but if I eat something that is really cold, like ice cream or something like that, and I have on sandals or
Sounds like the beginning of one of my stories.
Or if I've been at the pool and my hands are dry or something like that, the cold that I'm eating, the ice cream cold that I'm eating, makes my hands and my feet feel so dry that I have to put lotion on them.
How about your lips? Does it make you or your nose? Does it make you feel like you almost like that feeling if you have to sneeze, like you're like, you feel like you're on the verge of that? Because it does that to me.
You have that experience?
Yes.
Like my sensitivity to the cold. Like my husband, he chuckles and laughs at me whenever we get ice cream because I have lotion in all the cars in case we get ice cream, so I can put lotion on my hands. I need to put lotion on my hands to eat ice cream.
It puts the lotion on its hands and it eats the ice cream.
No, I don't understand that. I don't understand why. I don't maybe I'm dehydrated and but I need to use lotion in order to eat cold things.
Yeah, that's weird.
It's super weird.
I've never heard. And a lot of times you hear it and you go, oh, okay, that is weird and I understand it. I don't even understand.
I don't understand it.
What is going on?
And nobody understands it in my family, but we get ice cream and while my husband's waiting at the window, I'm just quietly trying to get the hand lotion to put some hand lotion on my hand, and he'll just look at me. Yes, I know. He's thinking that. He's reconsidering everything every time.
Wow.
Do you have a weird habit?
Okay, mine would be, I was going to make a joke and be like, oh, I always bring my wife flowers. It's so weird.
You always do after I guilt you into doing it.
It's true. I think about you every time I walk by flowers and don't buy them. So whenever I talk on the phone, I don't think that I'm doing it, but apparently I yell when I'm talking on the phone.
I believe you do that.
And I don't try to, and my wife is like, I don't have a lot of long phone conversations, but when I do, she's like, you need to go outside or you need to go in the garage or something because it takes the whole house away from whatever they're doing.
And you don't really realize you're doing it?
No, I think I project really loudly. And so when I just get passionate and talking, I just get really loud. I know from being at kids' sports events that if I say something to my son, not even yelling badly, but just keep your feet on the ground or something, don't jump. It's like the whole place will hear it. And the coach will know if I say anything versus if any other parent says something.
Every once in a while, during basketball, I would say, you yell out things to your kid from the stands, I don't know, I'm trying to think of something right now from a basketball.
Yeah. Go, Tony.
Yeah, I don't know. What, I'm a coach and I'm a parent, and I need to separate those two things. I completely understand that.
Epstein didn't kill himself. That's one of the things you yell from the sidelines all the time.
We did in our girls' basketball team name one of our plays Freedom, so that they'd yell, Freedom!
Yeah, that's where I was going.
That Epstein didn't kill himself.
Yeah.
It was not one of them. But watch him low, or something like that. My son would turn around and find me in the stands and be like, I see him. And I'm like, don't look at me.
Yeah, you're not supposed to do that.
You're breaking the fourth wall.
Yeah.
What are you talking
You're out
about?
there.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Do what all the other kids do and ignore your parents. But I'm yelling at, don't look at me.
That's funny.
No. And then I realized I just need to shut my mouth. So I've mostly learned that lesson. Sometimes it gets the best of me, but I'm always trying my hardest.
No? Okay.
It's 57-50.
Yeah.
Okay. Great. Just making sure live. We're doing a great job. Hey, 1 minute left.
2 of us.
Until the market reading
Two of us are nailing it.
You guys are doing a great job.
Who would you rather ride a roller coaster with, Donald Trump or Kamala Harris, Ryan Wiggins?
Donald Trump.
Yeah, Donald Trump.
I feel like there shouldn't even be a question about this, but we asked you. You've got 250 votes, and with 250 votes in, 83% said Donald Trump.
I thought it might be a little bit more of a split than that because it doesn't have to be partisan, But I just think it would be more fun to ride with that.
Is
guy.
there a Democrat that you'd really enjoy riding a roller coaster with?
Yep.
Who?
Jerry Nadler.
Why is he on your mind?
Because I've been thinking about it all day. It's been the poll question.
That's not the poll question. No, that your mind went there on its own, and you were so quick. Oh, man. I'm with Dorothy. Caller earlier said Trump because he'd put his arm around me and tell me everything's going to be okay. Mark Rude next. Don't go away.
One of the country's most storied collegiate soccer rivalries is coming to City Park in downtown West. Sunday, September 8th. Don't miss St. Louis University and Southern Illinois University Edwardsville men's soccer teams facing off in the historic Bronze Boot Clash. Both universities' women's soccer teams will also take the field, promising an action-packed day of competitive local NCAA Division I soccer. Get your tickets now at SeatGeek.com. That's SeatGeek.com.
Hello, this is Chad Clayman with ClaymanGroup.com, KLAMEN Group.com, where we buy houses direct and as is condition. Did you just inherit a house and you're not sure what to do with it? Maybe it's got a lot of stuff in there and you're really not sure what to do with the stuff and how to sell the house. Well, we do a lot of work with people that inherited property. We're very familiar with the probate courts. So if you have a house you just inherited, please reach out today. We'd love to make you an offer.